Okay, so wow, this is all different. Hello, folks. We're live, I guess, Stevie, because that's what it says. Wow, I'm sorry. I'm all screwed up because StreamYard is messed up. I got purple everywhere. It's like Easter all over again.
Uh-oh.
What's going on, folks? Don't adjust your TV screen. This is it's been a long time. Welcome back to everybody.
Nice to see
How the
us.
fuck you guys been?
Yeah.
Shit. It's all on me, and I'm sorry. I got way too many things going on.
Nah, you fall asleep too easy. Because you're old.
I did. Was it 2 weeks ago I sent the text? Was it 2 weeks ago?
It was last week.
Was it last week?
I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
I text you from the porch. I comes downstairs. I came in here. I got called away. And my daughter wanted to talk to me sitting on the couch because I have a little den right out this door. I sat on the couch. I was talking to her. She left, and I went.
We all know.
And that's where I woke up. That's where I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Dazed and confused.
I sleep in my bed every night. Doesn't matter if we're mad at each other or not. I make it a point to. I don't never not sleep in my bed.
Right.
I got rules. But anyways, it's good to see everybody. We have a normal, regular, awesome crew. Where's Susie?
She's not going to join. She is poop. She was working her butt off all day.
You make damn sure I said that you tell her I said hello.
She's right there.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, Susie.
Everybody's saying hi. Hi. She's getting a snack and then hitting the bed.
It's a snack peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're going to have some peanut butter cookies.
Oh, we got a brand new box, bro. I haven't opened them yet because once you open them, that's your ass.
I told everybody this. You haven't had peanut butter. I said, Girl Scout peanut butter cookies. Oh, fuck Girl Scout peanut butter. Couldn't hold a fucking stick to these fucking cookies. So, Stevie, it's good to see you. It was good to see you too, Susie. Have a good night's sleep.
Have a good night's sleep.
Thank you, you too.
Not yet. Don't have a good
Say
night.
hello. You guys know our Fatwood Queen, Miss Shalisha Show, and she's partnerless tonight too. Her guy is up in the mountains somewhere.
Whoa, cool.
Trout fishing, yeah.
Out fishing,
nice.
Doing fun stuff. That's awesome.
Finding wells. Oh, good.
Season just opened, and we had a torrent rainfall, so all the little creeks like flooded.
Oh.
So good luck, trout fishermen.
That sucks. And then we have the ever beautiful Mr. Outdoors.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Dish. Yeah. Hi
What
there.
joke did I just hear? Somebody said, "What do you get if the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Green Bay Packers had to form one team? Would it be something? I don't know. What the fuck was it? The Fudge Packs." Whatever. I was fucking dying. I was fucking dying. It was on a short or something.
I've never liked that name, the Packers. The team's okay, but that's exactly what it makes me think of every time.
Who's out here? SKS Gear Grind. How are you, Gear? I sent you a link. You got one. Gunpowder Beauty was here, but as she would say, the lumber schnack was away, and she just went and picked him up. So
now we know where Ohio is.
She won't be able to join us tonight, but she was here. SKS, I hope things are well, my friend. It's always a pleasure seeing you.
Hey, SKS, what's up, Grr?
I hope Gia comes in because I sent him a thing. I don't know what his schedule is anymore. So I see on Facebook how his garden's coming out nice though. So See up here, we can't plant anything until after Mother's Day. So
Yeah, I got to do some plowing so it starts drying out. We found semi-dwarf fruit trees for like $38 a piece. So I'm thinking about getting a bunch. Couple of apples, couple of peach, couple of black cherry.
Pear.
A pear, definitely pear. Love my pears.
You might as well get a partridge.
That's something we haven't had in a while.
You might as well plant the pears right by the bird feeder, though.
You might as well get a partridge. So you're gonna have a partridge in a pear tree.
Them deer gonna gobble them all up. They always ate mine.
In the fall, I sent you the picture of the partridge in the pear tree.
Shalisa, chicken wire.
Chicken wire.
Well,
serious. So here's what you do, right? So here's what a friend of mine did. He's got like, I don't know, 15 fucking apple trees in his yard. And he went around every one of the trees. So his wife's idea, not his. I mean, it was his idea to do the chicken wire. But what he did was the numbskull. He puts it like a foot away from the tree. Right? And she goes, "What are you doing?" She goes, "They're just gonna
jump."
So he put it out. He made it's like a fucking pen. You know, he says the only problem is that he says it's not really a problem. He says he because he cut it and he just hooked it. He hooked them. He unhooks them and then uses a weed whack or whatever to cut around the tree and all that bullshit. He says, but they still come by, but they don't. You know, they don't.
Oh, good.
They try, but then when they miss with their hoof and they hit the back of their hoof on the fucking top of the chicken wire, they don't like that.
Well, I watched a video and it made a lot of sense. This guy did an experiment and he put a short fence, like 2 or 3 short fences made out of 300-pound monofilament. And they will not cross it because it trips them up. They feel it hit their leg, but they can't see it to jump over. And it totally keeps the deer out.
Uh-oh, sneeze button.
Uh-oh. Wow, he actually found it and didn't take himself off the internet.
Button do.
Do what, Lisa?
I said, what does this button do?
Yeah, right. Well, if you're going to stay up, you might as well sit over here to get on camera. Apparently she's changing her mind just like a woman.
That's fine. That's obviously fine with me. Speaking of women, anybody see Ohio?
Not in a minute. He was so busy with family stuff and all that.
I figured he's either in West Virginia or, tightening up all that or doing whatever,
Right. I didn't want to bug him. I just let him know I was here if he wanted to talk, but.
Yeah, so I saw so that's what I was saying. So the town won't allow you to build where you wanted to, but isn't it like, not ironic, but isn't it like weird how something might be bad and then it turns into something good because where you're going to build it now is absolutely beautiful.
Well, we went from just a regular house on the side of the road to a like palace on the hill in the back, all quiet and private and a hell of a view. And
there you go.
It's going to take a little bit more work, mainly on the driveway.
Yeah.
I took a picture tonight. It's like slow, little hilly.
Oh, so
and every time there's a dip, there's a wet spot.
Right.
We have being all mostly clay. To our south is all uphill, so everything flows towards our property. All the little seeps and the springs and all that.
Right.
So I come up with an idea the other day. I'm going to dig a ditch along the driveway, and I already have 2 culverts in where I'm building log bridges. So I'm going to dig that ditch to manage the water to stop it from crossing the driveway.
There you go.
So I got to rig up something on the tractor. Now that I got a tractor, God, what a
Or-
lifesaver.
Or just build like a holding thing.
Yeah, I could dig a pond.
You know what I mean? Just dig a giant hole, line it with stone. Or, not stone, but rocks or whatever. If you have any
Right.
rocks around.
Just remember, if you dig a pond, to put lots of cattails, plant lots of water plants in it to keep it fresh and clean.
Yep. I got a lot of cattails growing on the property. Matter of fact, I got to be careful not to go in those wet spots because the DNR have a fit.
Oh.
They protect their wetlands,
Oh, yeah.
especially with all the water flowing. And man, them cat.
But now, if you own the property, they still consider wetlands.
I don't think they're big enough to be actual wetlands because they dry up in the summer.
Oh, okay. Then they're runoffs.
Yeah. But the ground stays moist enough for cattails
Moist
to grow.
underneath because it's so wet.
And all clay. I have a theory. I think we
And
live in a
And mushrooms.
we live in a big giant valley. I have a feeling with the Manistee River just to the north. I have a feeling in ancient history this was a big lake bed, and all that clay is the sediment from the lake.
Maybe.
That's my theory,
Could be.
and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
Well, on some
That's the only
boring,
thing.
on some night that you're bored and you got nothing to fucking do, just get on the internet. I'm sure you can find out what it, I'm quite
maybe.
sure you can. I mean, how do these fucking geologists and all these people find out what the fuck was here? I mean, there's a way to find out.
Sure.
But
I think what it was is a giant lake, and the only thing left of it is the Manistee River. Because every direction we leave our house, we have to go uphill.
Oh, so you have nice cold winters. Being in the valley.
Should stay for summer.
And that also will explain all the clay. I mean, that well I tried to hand drill.
Because of clay,
I was down 20 feet and still in clay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's fucked up.
So I'm thinking clay is fine sediment. So I'm thinking this was a big giant lake.
I wouldn't be surprised
back
if it
in
wasn't.
Ice Age or something.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't, Stevie.
But I can start a night crawler farm. Them suckers are crawling all over the place.
Oh,
Right.
cool.
You must have
Make
a
my
million
dream-
birds. You must have a million
$4
birds in the yard.
They're going for $4 a dozen up here.
Oh,
wow.
No shit. That's
Holy
crazy.
shit.
For worms.
You know what's funny is that my friend upstairs will go fishing and he'll be like, "Oh, I gotta buy crawlers." I was first of all, you buy them at a convenience store.
Mm.
I go, so you open them up, they're dead. I go, secondly, what are they charging us for these fucking things? He goes, who cares? It's all right. I thought, you do that. He says, we're going to fish tomorrow too? I said, yeah, we'll fish tomorrow. What do? I do exactly what my grandfather taught me when I was like fucking 10. Go out in the front yard.
Lift up a rock.
No, not even. Go out in the front yard at like fucking 4 o'clock while the sun's still out, 5 o'clock while the sun's still out. Soak the fucking lawn.
Mm-hmm.
Then go back out there when the fucking sun goes down. Take your flashlight. They're as big as your fucking finger.
Yep.
Poof, poof, poof. Then you wake up the next day and there's 19 million holes in your fucking front yard.
Well,
But
that's good for it.
Yeah, but that's how my grandfather taught me how to fucking get fucking night crawlers. Not worms, night crawlers.
Yeah. Worms, night crawlers.
Okay.
It's technically a whole different animal, but
Didn't know that.
yeah, I used to do the whole night crawler thing when I was a kid. I used to sell them. Had the beds and all that stuff, and hatched them and fed them and
Now,
all
did you
that
feed him?
junk.
Did you feed him cornmeal like this used to?
Yep. But their
You knew it
favorite,
was coming.
their favorite thing was ripped up newspaper, rip it up, shred it real fine,
Shred it.
Yep.
mix that in with the dirt, and then sprinkle a little cornmeal on the top.
Yep.
And they were the biggest, fattest, plumpest worms in the neighborhood.
Well, don't you remember? Don't you remember Dish's?
No.
We used to do it at our house in Holden.
Don't you remember Dish's landlord had worms?
She had
did.
worms, she had crickets, she had maggots, all kinds of weird
Fucking
shit.
lizards.
Chickens in the attic.
No, the bathtub wasn't it the bathtub?
That was a movie, wasn't it?
No, the flowers in the attic. Flowers in the attic.
Chicken
Yeah, I
in
know.
the attic.
The hillbilly version of flowers in the air.
Gotta love them cookies.
Well. That's a deep fucking subject, ain't it?
All right.
I want to thank you for your Ohio State people that are coming to New England, the New England Patriots. What's going on?
But
Kid?
it ain't me. That's for goddamn sure.
No, but I forget the kid's name, but he's Ohio. What's it get? Ohio kid from Ohio State, LSU. A couple
You
other
guys got two from Ohio State. You got that Jack Sawyer, he's a good
Jack
linebacker.
Sawyer. Yep.
And then you got that quarterback who ain't worth a shit.
All right, we're gonna
Yeah, I
put
know.
these.
What's happening?
Nothing. I've been fighting with my
Anything
damn
good?
tab on my phone trying to get StreamYard to work for about half an hour now.
Oh no.
Oh, Stevie's been fucking cursing you the fuck out like fucking no.
You know when
fucking
you-
tomorrow.
you know when it
Oh,
says-
you lied.
You know when you got to pick your browser and it says hit the three dots in the corner?
Yeah,
There's no three dots. So
but I sent you the link in the chat, in the text.
I'm talking about StreamYard though. You have to when you open it up on a tablet or phone,
Yes.
you have to pick which browser you want to use. And
Oh, I just
Before-
use Chrome.
well, yeah, me too. But you have to pick it,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and you have to click on the three dots. But those three dots aren't there anymore.
Keep changing stuff.
Well, their directions say tap the three dots. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
they're gone.
Dish, what did you guys ever wind up doing on those worms? Did you fucking fish with them? What did you do?
No, they were in a big, huge aquarium, and there was no way for the water to drain out. So they just,
Died.
it was a mess. Yeah.
Ugh.
I saw it right off, but if I said anything, it wouldn't have mattered.
Seen it right off. You didn't have enough sand over the coals.
Yeah. I'm like, that's not going to work, but whatever.
Dish, they're all dead.
There is
There's
nothing
no air in
worse.
there. They don't need
Nothing-
air.
Nothing worse than worm stink.
Oh, God, I know. That's
Actually,
You
there
ever
is.
screwed up and left a thing of worms in your tackle box for like a week?
Actually, on it was probably 95 degrees outside, and this is a fucking 100 years ago, and this guy was always breaking my balls. I was all right, motherfucker. At some point in time, you're not gonna like me. Oh, you can't get me. As though I can't, huh? And I fucking got a thing of fucking night crawlers on a fucking 95-degree fucking day. His car sitting on the sun all day with everybody else's, and I took every fucking one of them and put them on the hood of his car. You want to try to chip dead fucking? You want to see what his fucking car looked like? I was just chipping fucking dead fucking night crawlers off the hood of his fucking car.
Baked right into the paint.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They couldn't move because they was stuck. It was like fucking bacon on a frying pan. Zip, boom, you're done. You know?
We came back
Cool.
from fishing one time. We had leftover worms, and I walked into my buddy's garage, and I just put them in the fridge. Unbeknownst to me, that refrigerator in the garage hadn't been plugged in like 2 years. They were trying to get rid of. I mean, it was totally empty. You know, they were getting ready to get rid of it or something. I don't know, but I just opened it up, and I wasn't thinking. You know, well, there's nothing in here. I better not. Yeah, I just threw them in there because that's what he told me. You know, And then a couple days later, we went to go fishing. He's like, "What'd you do with them worms?" I said, "I put them in the fridge." He's like, "Where?" And I'm like, "The one in the garage." He's like, "Oh shit."
No, in my
We walked
chair.
out there, opened it up, dude. It was nasty.
Like dead flowers. Did you ever smell dead
Nothing
flowers? Blech. Yeah. What else did you guys have, Dish? You guys had chickens. Well, chicks.
Remember, I've been in therapy to not remember these things.
Well, let me refresh your memory. You had chicks that in my head, I'm saying to myself,
Oh,
I'm
no
saying to
mercy.
myself, where, they have no property to make a fucking chicken coop. Where the
Knife
fuck?
drawer, knife drawer, knife drawer. Remember that?
Yeah,
That's
right.
that's the safe word. Knife drawer. Just
I'm
say
like,
knife
Knife
drawer.
drawer, okay. Knife
I'm
drawer.
like, where's she?
Okay,
Where's she
stop
gonna
talking about
fucking-
it. We said knife drawer. God damn it!
Shut up. I'm like, where's she gonna fucking? I goes, unless they're gonna eat chicken nuggets. I mean, that's you know. I'm an asshole. But I freely admit it.
Right.
So, you know, I guess I'm not that much of an asshole if I can freely admit it. You know.
The wooden fire.
Yeah, so I'm still.
I can freely admit you're an asshole.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been an asshole for 57 and a half years. I prefer to be called Mr. Asshole. But I'm still smoking, but nowhere near what I used to. If I
Just makes you an old ass asshole.
if I smoke 4 cigarettes a day, 5 cigarettes a day, I miss my guess. But
Good deal.
I've been sucking on these fuckers for fucking. And then Philip Morrison sold it to Philip Morrison bought out Zen. So coffee's the only flavor I'll do. And so like with anybody, you know, with any company taking over another company. Hey Gil, what's going on, kid? I tried hard to plan that family reunion. Yeah, if you're not at work or whatever, and you can come on the panel. Yeah, 6 milligrams. 6
How many?
6 milligrams.
Program.
Oh, I thought you said 50.
So-
I'm like, golly, no wonder you ain't
So-
smoking.
That's coffee. It was like coffee
I
on
mean,
it.
they're working pretty good.
Flavor.
Getting ready to go pick up the old lady. All right. Well, your invite's in your Facebook message box, so you know.
Did you hear about Philip Morris and the other big tobacco companies?
Oh, so yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry, Steve. So they bought Zen out. So no, I didn't. What happened?
Well, because of the anti-smoking and all that stuff, they're all now in the food business.
Yeah, buying
Oh, they
fucking
did.
snacks and fucking
Kraft. I think Kraft actually they own Kraft or something.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
better put some tobacco in that shit.
Well, I don't understand why they're all anti-cigarettes because their fucking cigarettes are getting fucking disgusting in the state of Massachusetts. Like fucking $11 for a pack of Marlboros.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck your fist. I'll drive fucking 2 miles and get a pack of cigarettes for $4. So I'm arguing with the guy at the store, my little Indian friend, Pakistani, whatever the fuck he is. And I said to him, I said, bro, he says, because he said to me, how come you don't buy cigarettes here? I said, you have this kind? I get that kind. Can you sell them to me for $4 a pack? And now, so I step out of line. I'm talking because there's people in line, you know. I says, can you give them $4 a pack? He goes, no. I said, that's why I go to New Hampshire and get them. I goes, what's your cheapest pack of cigarettes? He goes, $7.92. I says, with a 6.5% tax, that's over $8, right? He says, yeah. I said, I can get 2 packs for the price of 1. Oh, my friend, I tell you this. You buy these, I'll give these to you for $5.50 a pack. The fucking girl in the line starts laughing. She goes, I cannot believe you're bartering for cigarettes. I said, I'm not bartering. I said, I'm just telling the way it is. He's offering them for me to buy them for $5.50 a pack, which I'm going to take him up on. I said, but
Watch
I'm
out
always
with
in
him.
there, too.
Watch
You know,
out with them no-name brand smokes. They put all kinds of shit in those.
He lets me.
Half of them ain't even tobacco.
He lets me.
End of the barrel stuff.
He lets me buy my lottery on a debit card and stuff. I love the fucking kid.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Some lady come in. So I pay. And she goes, You can buy lottery with a debit card. No, she said credit card is not a debit card. And she goes, Oh, cool. So I move over and put my shit in my wallet. And she says to him, I need that, and I'm gonna put it on my debit card. And he gives me this fucking look. Right? They're behind me, they see it. So she says, What is that a problem? And I said to the lady, What's your name? She goes, Linda. And so I look up at him. I said, Listen, I said, why don't you let Linda here do the same thing I'm doing? I said, She's in here a lot? He goes, Oh yeah. I said, Then let her do it. Oh, okay. Guy behind her says, This is unbelievable, this fucking place. He says, If you're here a lot, you can get on a debit card. If you're not, you can't. That's
I thought they changed it to where you could use a debit card all over because of they got the machines now.
No, so what they don't want to do is the reason why I mean it's okay, so they leave it up to the store owner because the one
Because they make less money if it's by debit card. I know
no,
that.
not even has nothing to do with it. So the place across the street from my house, the convenience store, I asked them, I says, How come you don't buy lottery here, Mike? Because I got on the street because they let me do it on my debit card. Oh no, I says, Yes, you can. So but the reasoning is because I talked to a lady that at the store when I at work. I asked her, and she said the main reason is because if everybody comes in with a debit card, they're not going to have enough cash to pay you out because they can't use draw cash for lottery cash.
Oh, got
They can
you.
exchange, right? You can break 100, you can break a 50 or something. They can do that. But you can't use. So if he ran out of lottery money for payouts, he can't. If somebody come in with a $200 ticket, they can't take $200 out of the register and pay that out.
Got you.
So that's why they don't do debit cards. They don't do credit cards because it costs them fucking
So
29%.
So what you're telling me, anybody that sells lottery tickets has a big box of cash under the counter.
Well, yeah, they have to.
Good to know. Good to know when shit
Well,
hits
think
the
about
fan.
If most of the places only pay in cash, they have
Yeah.
a lot of cash, right? And you
True.
walk in, you can pay out up until what $599 because anything over you have to go to the fucking lotto. Well, here in Massachusetts you do. So
I thought it was like 1,000 or something.
No, here Massachusetts, $599 or less, you can get it at the register. Anything over, they print a receipt out of the fucking out of the lotto machine, and then you have to go to the fucking lottery store, and they got like I don't know 5 or 6 fucking lottery branches scattered across Massachusetts, and you have to go there, you know. So, but that's only on one ticket. So if I have 5 scratch tickets, right? I hit 500 on one, 50 on another, 100 on another. He can pay me, okay? Because it's 5 separate. You know what I mean? They're separate tickets.
Yeah, it's not that they don't have the money. It's the lottery's policy.
Yeah. So
and good luck with that trifecta.
I bought a spearmint before work, after lunch, and before bed. About 20.
Oh, she's
I don't
going
like
to the
the
lottery
spearmint.
store.
I hate the spearmint.
I just seen a preview for a movie. I know the movie's been out for a couple years now, but I never had showed any interest in it. And it's funny that we were talking about lottery because it's about this couple that figures out if you buy so many lottery tickets and you scratch them off or whatever, your odds or something of winning or increase or something. And they were just like, they had this system. They were winning like $21,000 every week buying lottery tickets.
60 Minutes. Windfall.
Windfall. That's what the movie was about. Windfall. Yeah. Did you see 60 Minutes? Like, this is a movie though. Did they have him on 60 Minutes interviewing him or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So it's a true story.
60
Oh, yeah.
Minutes still does interviews. I thought they were dead.
No.
Oh, that was years ago.
Yeah, no, I only had to go once to the fucking lottery store.
Only had to go.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah,
for
white
54 and change, I hit the 4 digits, they call it the daily number. I hit that.
Hmm?
That was years and
Mhm.
years.
You didn't charge up enough.
Mm-mm. I mean, technically, yeah, but we just drain it down again. I don't want to do that to the batteries. Hey, we just went 4 days with almost no sun
Yep.
on our solar power.
Nice. Well, you know
Yeah.
that once it's charged up, that's excellent.
Yeah. So it pooped out today when Susie was using the vacuum cleaner.
Now, how are you doing with the, how do you get the, to be able to be on here?
It's my phone.
Oh, you're off your 5G, 4G, whatever.
Yeah.
I got you. I wasn't sure if you're doing the Starlink shit or not.
No, we haven't got internet yet. The wire's right outside the house. There's a wire. So they just ran that through last year, right?
Well,
When they were working on the lines. Oh, something I noticed. I'm using the power line right away for my driveway.
yeah.
And so I've been up and down it 100 times, of course. I started looking at the damn cross poles that the wires are attached to. The shit's all rotten and ready to fall off.
What do you mean?
So the cross beams that the insulators
the
are
poles.
around,
The poles themselves. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I got you.
3 in a row. I mean, it's to the point where the wires are like twisting it and woodpeckers are pecking at it and stuff. They're rotted. So after I get my driveway done, so they can't tell me not to do it, I got to make a phone call. Say, hey, you better get out here and fix them cross members.
Yep.
That shit's gonna fry everybody.
That is.
Wow.
And it's the
Well, they're
big
all
old
metal up
wires
here now.
way up.
Oh yeah, the high tensions. They're all metal up here now. Out in Western Massachusetts, so the old one, the old wooden arms, crosses,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you want to call them.
The poles look fine. It's just the cross beams are rotted. It's weird. I've never seen that before. Of course, I never really looked.
Well, because it holds all the snow and all the rain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, the poles won't. The only on the pole will is the top.
Right.
Maybe the bottom from it, snow gathering on the bottom, but those are so far in the fucking ground. And then don't they treat the poles anyways? Don't they have like we used to have a telephone pole laid down on my separating our property when I was a kid growing up. We used to sit on it, except you couldn't sit on it in the fucking
on the end.
Summertime. You couldn't sit on it in the summertime because it was all fucking
tar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They used to do them all. Now they went to Woolmanized.
Because when 100 years ago, my brother and I went and helped one of our great uncles put a fence in or replace his fence, and we used every post that we used. We put what do you call it? The roofing tar.
Yeah.
For the bugs and fucking whatever else, the water.
Yeah, I did that with our flagpole.
Yep.
I'm surprised that flagpole is just a tree, a poplar tree. It's still white as can be. It's beautiful looking. It didn't turn gray or nothing.
Nice.
Really surprised. Yeah, I know.
Maybe it's growing again in the ground.
Rooted. But we smeared a little tar on the bottom of that, and then I set it in pea gravel instead of dirt.
Yep.
So it drains,
Yeah, absolutely. Good way of doing it.
It's been standing up to all the windstorms and everything, so It must
Cool.
work.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, well, I want to thank you because it was 80 fucking 2 degrees here today, and
Not
then
here.
all of a sudden we had the rain came in, and it felt like it was like fucking 60, and then the fucking sun came out and went right back to fucking 80 again.
Shoot, it was in the high 40s here all day. Just a
Supposed to be-
little bit of chill. Good working weather, but
Yeah, it's supposed to be 65 here tomorrow. See, this is the time of year I get all the Florida weather from the fucking suddenness.
well, there's some kind of big front down south of us that's pushing a bunch of weird shit up or allowing a bunch of weird shit to come over or something's going on.
I've been watching our buddy. He's been fucking that motherfucking spot on.
Right?
And all them tornadoes that came through there a month or so ago, I'm like, what the fuck?
Man, that mid-south
Tornadoes in fucking March,
hammered.
early April? What the fuck is this? You know? And he was just as dumbfounded. He goes, doesn't
Yeah.
happen a lot. You know,
Them
it
poor
happens every-
people are getting hammered. Ever since that hurricane, they've been getting hammered.
Yep.
Yeah, it was chilly today. I spent the day in the woods, got there about 9 in the morning, left
Nice.
around 2 or 3. I was cold at first. I was like, I should have brought a jacket, but I just kept on moving and kept warm.
Yep. You
But you didn't sweat.
are you looking for mushrooms yet?
Oh yeah. I went to my favorite spot. There wasn't even any buttons up yet.
Right on. The dirt's still cold.
Yeah. The ground sure felt warm though after that sun was out a couple hours. I could feel the heat coming off the ground. I was like, woo.
I'll tell you,
That's
the
what you need.
fucking river water is still fucking cold as fuck. I was
What are
talking to
you
a kid, he
doing in the
caught a
river
fucking
water?
42-inch. Well, because he caught a 42-inch fucking
What the hell is that?
pike out of the fucking river.
It's right in my
And I'm like,
face.
motherfucker.
Sure it ain't a spider?
It's a mosquito.
But the river water is still so fucking cold. It's not even funny. But
Did I get him?
and they just lost another kid to the fucking river
That's
too.
you.
Oh, no.
I'm
So
sure
last
it
year they lost a child that had autism, and I
Oh.
guess from what they say, with some forms of autism, water like calms keeps them calm or what have you. So this little girl walked to the edge of the water, and the fucking current just went.
That's what happened to me.
And they found her. About road miles. It's probably 5 miles. River miles. I have no idea. But they found her down near the golf course on the Tewksbury. It's the next town over from me. Well, not or whatever. Anyways, so now a mother and her 4-year-old boy were behind the Songas Arena in Lowell last week, and he wound up going in, and they found him almost in the same spot that they found the little girl a year ago.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I got swept away once, 3 o'clock in the morning. In my backyard, I had a river, creek, and I've been drinking. We had tents set up, bonfire, and I decided to walk down my little wooden steps down the cliff to the river to get some water and put the fire out. And I just lost control and started running down them stairs and splash. It was early April, and that freaking current just swept me away.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'm lucky to be here after that one.
Right.
I mean, where I fished the river, I'm 215 pounds, 210 pounds, and I got my feet dug in the sand.
Get 9 lives.
I got my feet dug in the sand, and I literally twist myself into the sand, and I start fishing. And if I step, like, not even probably 2 feet, if I step 2 feet forward, it goes from being calf deep to about 9 feet.
Wow.
And it's all over because that it just. So I'm talking to a buddy of mine, that the kid upstairs that I fish with, Sean, and he's like, Mike, why do you? I says, Sean. He goes, what? I says, take your shoes off and step in the water. He steps in the water. Oh, it's cold, and this is fucking June, July.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, it's cold. And I says, do you feel the current? He goes, holy shit. I goes, yeah. I go, dive out that way, and I'll pick you up down the other fucking end in about fucking 10 minutes. As I'm telling you, people don't get it. You don't fuck with rivers.
Yeah.
You know,
Detroit River's like that.
Oh, he made
there's a
fun of
lot-
me because he made fun of me because we were in his little boat, and he made fun of me because I put a vest on.
I grew up swimming in Michigan mostly. So whenever I went out to the Pacific Northwest to be with family, holy shit. Like, you're used to Michigan current, and then you go out there. It's like, how do
Night
you
and day.
fucking swim in this shit?
Yeah. It's
I
amazing.
found that, where was I? In Texas somewhere, Corpus Christi. I dove into the ocean and it had like a river current going sideways.
Ooh.
It's like, what the hell is this? You duck underwater and you pop up and you're like 50 feet down the shoreline. I never knew that oceans had sideways currents like that.
Oh God,
You're
yeah.
lucky it didn't suck you out to sea.
You know what?
Yeah,
You want to
no
hear,
kidding.
Stevie? The worst part to be at a river. The absolute worst part to be at a river.
The bottom.
Well, yeah, obviously. The most absolute worst part to be at a river is where it meets the ocean. Because then you get the rip, you get everything. You have
Oh, the rip tide.
zero. You have zero fucking chance. Zero.
Yeah. Lake Michigan is known for its killer currents in rip tides and stuff. A lot of people drowned in Lake Michigan every year from the beach.
Swim sideways, swim along the shore.
Yeah.
But it's not even. See, I mean, you're right in what you're saying, Shalisa. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong by any stretch, because that's exactly what you're supposed to do, is swim sideways. However, what people don't get is that they all think because it's fucking 80 degrees that the fucking
Yeah.
water's 80 degrees. They think they're in
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
Florida
exactly.
somewhere. When the water temperature is 50 degrees, 49, 48, 55, 58 degrees, that's fucking cold water.
Oh yeah.
And so your muscles aren't, you know what I mean? And it's the cold, especially now. Now, fuck that. As much as I want to go catch my northern pike out of that river, I won't go near it because
Yeah, that cold will suck
The
the life
water's
right
too
out of you in
cold.
like a couple of
Yeah.
minutes.
absolutely. You know? I mean, I'm just glad they found that kid.
It likes you more than me.
Yeah.
Keep it up. You're going to get one right on your ankle. We got a damn mosquito in here we're like right in my face.
Well, that's why she's
Already?
with a blanket.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the day the snow melted, the mosquitoes were popping out
Really?
here and there.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Fuck,
It's
I
like,
haven't had
what the
I haven't
hell?
seen a mosquito.
It's because of where you're at. I wouldn't be surprised if you got.
I got another week, and then we hit black fly season.
Yeah. We get
That I
those
hate.
too.
That season, I hate that season. You know, they're here till at least the first week of June. You know,
Everywhere.
Nah, I'm just fidgety now. I don't want to get bit by its
You know what?
stupid mosquito.
Protester riot season's coming up here in Cleveland.
what is
What is?
Ohio?
Riot and protester season.
Oh yeah.
Riot and protesters.
You know what I didn't do today? I didn't fucking bet on the fucking Kentucky Derby
Oh, okay.
for the first time in probably, I don't know, 35 years.
I'll tell you one thing about not watching TV. You're sure out of touch with stuff like that. The Indy 500, the Daytona 500. I miss them all because I don't watch TV.
Yeah, see, I envy you though, because being home now is
Hey, you get to watch Maury Povich.
yeah, I just watch YouTube. But it's I go stir crazy actually, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because I don't have a house where I can just go out in the yard and fucking take care of the, you know what I mean? So because my son will get up at 4:30, 4:45. The wife will get him whatever, she'll feed him whatever she feeds him, gets him a drink. By the time she goes to work, 6:45, he's already back in bed. He don't get up till 11 o'clock.
Nah.
So 10:30, whatever. So I'm like, I get up at fucking 7:30, 7:45. Now what do I do? You know what I mean? It's like, but so I wait for him to get up. He gets up. I kind of get a honey-do list every day, and if I get to it, I get to it. If I don't worry about it. Then I have to listen to it like Dish and I did a little while ago, but it is what it is. Yeah, for those who don't know, I'm not working full time anymore. I'm staying at home with my son.
Right on.
I'm on that. What do you call it? That fucking family medical leave back. What the fuck they call it? So
FMLA.
yeah,
FMLA.
thank you. So I'm doing that. I'm still working part time. I was telling Dick, we were off air, or we were on air, Dish. We were off air, right? Well, I was talking about the kid at XPO.
Yeah.
So I'm at work the other night, and this kid asked me for help because I had an accident in a truck. I go over. He dropped a skid, no big deal. So, anyways, long story short, I look at the fucking label where it's going. I'm like, oh, fuck it. It's from fucking going to Michigan. I'm like, fuck it.
Can't get away from us.
I couldn't even pronounce the fucking name of the fucking town.
Oh, okay.
It was a fucking word this fucking long, for Christ's sakes. I said, oh, couldn't be Flint, could it? Nope. Couldn't be Detroit. Nope. It's going to be a fucking word this fucking long that I couldn't even fucking...
Some Indian word that hasn't been used in 200 years.
Right,
Exactly.
Yep.
Swamp Donkey.
Donkey.
How you been,
Hey,
sir?
Swamp Donkey, what's up?
Good to see you, sir. How's things up yonder?
No.
Oh.
Oh. Just seeing the shadow. Maybe we're seeing the
No,
shadow.
it's right here by me, by an elbow.
That's my cat's name, Shadow.
I seen him, but I think I missed him.
See, I'm not
Damn
even
it.
racist. It's all black.
Quick, Susie, it's on Steve's forehead. Smack it.
A skinny ass, pitiful mosquito. He'll bite Susie. They like her better than they do me.
Jonathan, when he was a kid. Don't ask, I hear you. My son Jonathan was a kid, and I brought him up north. I mean, a young kid, he was like 5, 6, 7 years old. I bring him up north, and it was black fly season. He looked like a fucking. What was the cartoon with the little short people, but the heads looked like footballs? They were like this.
Smurfs?
No, it was like an adult cartoon, like on Sunday nights after fucking Bart Simpson or before Bart Simpson.
Family Guy.
Family Guy?
Family
Anyways.
Guy, the little boy, Stewie.
Stuart.
His fucking head, right, looked like twice the size of a football, and it looked like they just put it on his neck.
Oh,
He fucking
no.
swelled up. He swelled up so fucking bad. We felt so bad. Well, I'm never coming back there in May, and I haven't been up there in May, and I can't tell you how long.
My dad used to swell up bad from black flies.
Yeah,
He'd get bit on the hand. His whole hand would be huge.
terrible.
Oh, no.
So you know how I get rid of them though? When I was up there, I light 2 green fires. Figure which way the dominant wind's going if it's not a windy day, obviously. I'm
Right.
like, okay, I want the smoke blowing towards me, so I'll put the fire over there. And I'll put that fire over there for that one. You know?
In
And-
Louisiana, they used to smear Skin So Soft all over themselves.
Yeah. How'd that
Yeah,
work?
we used to use Skin So Soft when we go fishing and stuff at night.
That's,
Yeah, but that
that
shit
stuff-
never worked.
that stinks so bad. Ugh.
Bring back off with the DEET in it. That was the best shit.
They still
I
make it.
still
don't they?
have a can of that. It's like 30 years old. It's in my garage.
That shit. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That was
I'm
the best
saving it
shit
for
in
the
world.
apocalypse.
There you go.
They don't use DEET anymore.
No, they haven't used DEET in fucking years.
No more numb lips. Damn it.
Yeah, no. No, else you can't find Yard Guard. Remember the fucking Yard Guard? You can't find that anywhere either. You spray that like before a party or something. and the
Yep.
bugs do. You can't
Get-
find that anymore either.
Hot Shot Yard Fogger is the best.
Nope. Know what I get? Nothing. Fuck them all. Put a fucking fan or 2 out there. Put bug spray on. You don't like the bugs? Stay home.
Just get more, just put up a bunch of bat houses.
Wear a fucking net.
Or that.
My son came home from work with a bat house that he bought. It was on clearance. And
You have any
and
yet?
we're trying to figure out where we want to put it because once you put it up,
You got to leave it. Put it
Yeah.
as far away from you. Put it as far away from your house as you can. And then
well, I
put
said,
it up as high
I
as
said,
you can.
if I ever lived in an HOA, I'd build like a fucking 30-foot bat house because they can't touch it.
So
That'd just piss them off, wouldn't it?
speaking
Yeah,
of
it would.
HOAs, I'm watching this short on this guy. He's always having this problem with his HOA. And here's what they're doing today. The guy does like a daily video.
Let me guess. He's got the German Shepherd dog.
The guy that bought the pond.
I don't know.
He had a
There's a
car
guy
out
that has a
there.
German
They let the
Shepherd, like,
car and- I don't know. if
It's what they call the dog that helps you, like when you're disabled or whatever. Service
Oh,
dog.
the service dog.
He's got a German Shepherd service dog, and the HOA's been fighting
it.
with him
Is that the same
for
guy?
years to get rid of it.
Now this guy has this muscle car, and they said he couldn't have it because it was too loud. And he told him to go fuck themselves, so they beat it. And then they told him he couldn't fish in the pond. He's yes, I can. He's no, you can't. He's I own it. No, you don't own it. HOA. He's no, I own it. He bought the fucking pond.
Is that the guy that put the inflatable horse with the Amish buggy in his driveway?
I think so.
Yeah, he just keeps fucking with the
Yeah, he's
HOA
just
because
fucking with
I
HOA.
mean they started the war, you know.
But
He
here's the
just
thing,
found-
though, right? And I've said this before. Not even for free. Not even for free would I live where there's an HOA. You know what I mean? Like if they said, hey, here's a free house.
Yeah.
Here's a free house.
Oh
But
yeah,
here's
I
all the rules. Go fuck yourself.
tell you, fuck off. I ain't living in your HOA.
I
Did
wouldn't
you
do it.
Did you see that one lady on the news? She went on vacation and the HOA hired a bunch of contractors to tear her house down because it was older than the rest of the houses.
no.
Yeah.
So we have a golf course that's fucking half a mile from my house, right here. All right. And they say it's not an HOA. But they tell you what you can. They tell you what color you can paint your house, this, that, and the other. Well, some guy painted his house like fucking Pepsi blue, and it stand. You know, you're not supposed to. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome. So they're all like, no, it's not awesome. You know, we're at this pool party. I'm like, well, why isn't it awesome? Oh, because it stands out. I goes, good for him. He stands out. Good for him. He wants to stand out. Let him stand out.
Yep.
Like, no, this community in here. I said, stop with this community in here. It's not a gated community. It's not a fucking special fucking place to fucking live. Okay. I says, Jesus Christ. I go, did the guy buy the house? He says, yeah. Is it his? Yeah. Well, we have rules. Okay. He obviously broke one. What are you going to do about it? You can't kick him out of his own house. Good luck. What are you going to do? So therefore, you're right. It's not an HOA and it's not a nothing. I said, you can't kick the man out of his own house. Good luck with that.
Yeah, some of them HOAs are ridiculous.
Oh, they
Have
tried
you guys
they
have
tried
you
to
guys
pay me
seen
court
the
and everything.
farmer? The farmer that's he sold some of his land and they put a housing development right next to his farm, which he sold to them. But then the HOA came in, and now they're sending him like that he's not complying with the HOH or the HOA rules with his barn and his animals and all this stuff. He's like, I'm not in your fucking HOA. I sold you the land so you can build your
stupid bastards.
stupid fucks. And they're taking him to court and everything, man, over this.
Yeah,
And he's like,
Fucking funny.
they were doing that.
you
here
get people
big
that get a
time.
little bit of power.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is, right? People get power and
It
they
means
just
they
the fucking
take
the shit
miles.
don't stink.
They
Right?
had neighborhoods going after farmers here because of the smell and this, that, and the other. It's like the farmer was here first,
Right.
but them fucking people were winning in court because they'd run the farmer out of money.
It's like when I drove, I took the back. I used to go to the back way to my mom's, and
A beach deposit.
Yeah.
I said to her, I go in the house one day and I go,
Oh my
hey,
God.
I go, what is happening to this fucking town? She goes, what do you mean? I go, I just drove by a sign that said, no whistles blown at a railroad crossing. I said, do you realize there's a railroad, there's an accident at a railroad like every 55 seconds or something stupid like that? And she goes, I don't want to
You
talk
can go
about
to
it.
bed. Turn the camera
I
off
go, what
while you're
happened?
getting in bed.
She goes, some lady bought the house on Glen Road, a street right near our house where I grew up. I says, yeah. And she goes, the train would come by. I says, every morning blow his horn, just like they've been doing since I was fucking born. She goes, yep. She goes, she didn't want that. So she went to the town. She got people behind her. And I'm like, you're joking. She goes, no. She says, and it came to a town vote. That's a fucking town vote. This is got to be some kind of state law.
Right. The
She
first
goes,
person gets killed in that intersection
well,
where
so
the
I said
train
to my mother,
crossing.
I go, God forbid some kid gets hit, right? Or some old person that can't hear, whatever. Whatever, you name it. I go, and it's probably going to be her. You know, it's going to be one of her loved ones, and she's going to be like, oh, they didn't hear the train coming. They didn't hear the fucking train coming, asshole, because they made them not to blow their whistles.
Right.
And I'm like, you just got to be, you know, it's just, people are fucking retarded.
Yeah, they are.
I'm telling you, they're fucking tots.
So we had everyone complaining like on one of the local streets here that, you know, cops aren't doing their job, people are speeding down and blah blah blah. So the cops go out there and start fucking ticketing everybody, right? Guess what? Most of the people that were speeding and getting tickets all lived on that road or in that neighborhood. So then they all went and complained that they were being targeted.
Nah.
Yeah. Hey, asshole, were you breaking the law? Yep. Did you deserve the ticket? Yep. Shut the fuck up.
But I mean, you can't complain that you got speeders coming down your road and you
No.
want cops out there, and then as soon as the cops come and you're the speeder.
Unless it was one Karen complaining.
Well, it's the same guy over and over, but he did get ticketed.
I belong to a Facebook page up north where I have the trailer, right? And some lady puts on a post. This lady's doing 70 miles an hour down Route 107. So I wrote back, how do you know she was doing 70? Did you have a radar gun? She writes back, I was following her. I said, oh, so you were doing 72. I said, and by the way, nice picture. I go, so you're not only doing 70 miles an hour, you're also taking pictures at the same time? I was all
playing with your phone.
I said, let me guess, somebody else took the picture for you. And she goes, I don't know why I put posts up there. All you people do is hate on me when I said, you know why?
Just put stupid shit up.
I go, I says, you're doing a slippery slope when you think you have to police other people. I says, if you think
she's probably the same one that hears fireworks and was like, was that gunshots? What was that on Facebook?
I says, you wanna do something? You think they're going too fast on Route 107? Pull into the fucking Wilmington Police Department and say, hey, listen, it's not a raceway. People doing 70, blah, blah, blah. Do you think you can put a cruiser on a 107? And do that. But don't fucking, don't go on Facebook, because you don't know if that person's on Facebook or on this page.
The same people that post that are the same ones that post the fireworks gunshots, and they also post the, hey, it's snowing the first time it snows. And then they post their fucking what they're going to eat for dinner every goddamn night,
It's the
and then they
same.
post.
No, it's the same people every year that they be careful of the loons. There's loons in the lake. If you don't know there's not loons in that lake, you're from a fucking different planet.
Yeah.
So, because as soon as the fucking sun sets, that's all you hear is the fucking loons.
I love that.
And then,
So-
and then there's
so-
the power's out. Anybody else power out?
Oh yeah, yep.
Always tight back. Nope, just you.
Some of them are pretty. Some of them are pretty. Like I took a picture of this gigantic fucking turtle. I've never seen a turtle this big that wasn't in the zoo. And
It doesn't matter.
or on TV down in
Doesn't
Florida.
matter. It's all
You know what I
wood.
mean? This thing had to be 100 years
Put it
old.
in there. You got it in your hand.
And so I took a photo of it and I put it on Drake it page. And I'm like, he's a big one. They're all like, holy shit, what the hell is that? So I told them what it was. And I go, she says, do you know if it's a male or a female? I said, well, I didn't see any, I didn't see it, I didn't look, I didn't see, how the fuck do you tell? But she says, the females are coming out to lay their eggs. I goes, yeah, I'm aware of that. I said,
Not this early, they're not.
I says, I'm just getting them out of the fucking street so he didn't become fucking,
Right.
road pizza, And some other
Road pizza like that.
some other lady said, she said, did you put it near water? No, I put them in the fucking sand, you stupid broad. I said, I just got them off the side of the road. They need water.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't realize that. I said-
That's the same kind of lady that posts throwing a tortoise into a lake.
I go, I didn't realize turtles needed water. Yeah, they need water. And I'm like,
You know what you should have done, man? And I would have done it. I would have just taken the time out of my day. I would have went to the store, bought some duct tape and a bottle of water, and went back and found that fucking turtle and duct taped the bottle of water to the shell and took a picture of it and said, there, I gave him some water.
his shell, I'll guarantee you his shell from from end to end had to be a good 18 inches long, 20
Wow.
inches long. Fucking huge. And then so there was another lady there first. So she's trying to, so I pull over and I'm helping her. And she goes, did you see the size of his neck? I said, yeah, wait till he opens his mouth. And she goes, do you know about these things? I goes, no, but I know that's a big turtle, which means he's got a big mouth, which means you lose a fucking finger real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
And sure as fuck, his mouth open like this. I'm like, oh yeah, that would hurt.
The thing is, they don't let go. They will
They
not
clamp
let
down.
go.
They're like
of it.
vice
You have
grips.
to rip it.
My dad, when I was a kid, where my dad worked, they had like a pond next to the building, and they had like a shelter house, and people could go picnic there, and kids could wade in the pond and stuff like that. But they found a big, huge snapping turtle there, and my dad went out and pulled it out because it was like right on the edge, and he pulled it up out of the water, and they ended up calling the Columbus Zoo. The Columbus Zoo came out and picked it up, and it was on display at the Columbus Zoo for years.
Wow.
They removed it because it was like a kiddie pond for kids to like wade in and stuff, and this thing was huge.
So look, I don't know if I can. How do you put yourself on present nowadays? I don't even know how to do it nowadays.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, everything's gone. It's all fucked up now. Let me
That
see. Hang on.
sucks. Stupid.
What did they do? Change everything on StreamYards?
Oh yeah.
Again.
Yeah, see when you hit the three dots, it doesn't say. It says edit avatar, edit name. Hey, let's do it this way.
Hey, at least you got the three dots. I didn't even have the three dots.
There you go.
You're on. Oh, Mike, you had it.
Am I on?
There you go.
Well, because I can't tell by the. Usually, it'll tell you. Usually, Steve, usually on StreamYard, it shows that you're the only one right now. All 5 of you are still here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hang on a second.
That's real smart. That's pretty chunky.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
He's a fucking big one.
30-pounder.
The
He's
thing
fucking,
is,
oh
you
yeah,
gotta
he
be
was all of
careful
that
with
because I
those.
picked him up.
You got to be
What's
careful
that?
picking those up because a lot of people don't realize that with their necks, they can reach all the way back to like their rear
Oh yeah.
leg.
Well, did you see the little fucking thing beside him? That's like a squeegee the lady had. for his neck, so he couldn't get me when I picked him up.
Plus, when you go to pick them up by the tail, their back legs can scratch the shit out of
Exactly.
your arm.
So
Yeah.
I picked him up straight like this, and so I guess some guy drove by and goes, "Don't get bit." I'm like, "What a douche!" Like, don't give her a hand or nothing. You know what I mean? He's like, "Don't get bit." I'm like, "Fucking faggot." But I'm not saying it on TV no more.
Whoa,
I'm
my God.
sorry.
The views and expression of Mike DeLucia are the views and expression of
Let me
Mike
tell you
DeLucia
something.
only, not the guests and panel members of the Quagmire.
Right.
If you are a woke individual, you're in the wrong fucking place. All right, I won't say the F word anymore. Cocksucker.
If
So
Flan
anyways-
was around, she'd be having a heart attack.
Oh, I know. And the funny thing is that I don't mean for it to be, you know what I mean? It's just how I talk. You know what I mean? It's just I'd be talking to a totally straight person says the same thing. You're a faggot. You know what I mean? It's just the way life
No,
is.
man.
Listen, and I don't give a rat's who sucks cock and who doesn't suck cock and who licks a lot of puss and who doesn't. lick a lot.
$20 is $20, right?
$20 is fucking $20. You know.
Well, with inflation, you got to get it up to 50 at least.
Right.
$20 don't buy you shit no more.
Yeah, 20
So-
bucks those are 90s pricing, man.
Yeah.
I charge a lot more than 20 bucks now.
Do you know why? Do you know why lesbians' food bills aren't that high? You know, grocery bills aren't that high
Nope.
because they eat out a lot.
That's a pretty good one, actually.
Hmm.
Yeah. I got in trouble too. What the fuck did I say?
If you had to give up one forever, which would it be, Mike?
Dick.
Pizza? What did you say?
Dick.
Okay. If you had to give up one,
Yeah.
would you give up pizza, steak, or blowjobs?
No, see, you don't answer the question because if you say, yeah, I know, I think I heard this. Pizza.
You give up pizza? See, that's not me, man. I love pizza. I give up blowjobs.
Why is that?
It hurts my jaw.
What the fuck? I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I said at XPO got me in trouble.
Well, probably one of 100 things.
No, well, what happened was that it was like it was 5 of us standing there. 2 guys was speaking English, went into Spanish, came back to English, went back into Spanish, and once they got done, that really irritates the fucking piss out of me. And he says, "What?" I go, "So we're all standing here," and I says, 2 years of speaking in Spanish, knowing that we don't speak Spanish or understand Spanish. I go, and then you're going in from English back to Spanish. If you guys know, and if you guys can speak English well and understand English well, you should be using English in front of other people that don't understand Spanish. I goes, "You're having a private conversation." I says, if you're having a private conversation, I walked into the driver's room and it's just you two talking. You're talking to Spanish. Feel free, keep going. You know, I said, but when we're knowingly standing there and you started off speaking in English and then you go to Spanish, that's just not right. Well, my boss, whose name was Jose, if that gives away anything, he didn't take well to it, and I'm like, well, it isn't like I called him a fucking cocksucker. So that goes over like a fart in a spacesuit, right?
Oh,
Sometimes
no.
I don't know why I opened my mouth. Then I almost got so the
Speaking
other
of space, and poor ladies are getting so hammered.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm almost
Because they
starting
really
to feel.
didn't go to space or something. Is that what it was?
Yeah, and they went up in the penis spaceship, penis rocket.
Okay,
Oh my
help me
God!
out. What happened?
Oh, a whole bunch of celebrity. Well, this is what happened. One lady started screwing Jeff Bezos, so he bought them all a trip in a rocket to go
Okay.
up into like barely.
Yeah, what do you call it? Right, break the ozone
Well, I mean,
or
that's
whatever.
his rocket.
Yeah,
Breaking the planes from space to. I got you.
yeah,
Yep.
just barely were
Right. Yeah.
where you can just see the curvature of the earth and the
Exactly.
black of the
Yada
sky.
yada
and-
yada. She's been up a lot higher than we have.
Yeah,
Keep going.
I thought the Earth was,
So,
I thought the Earth was
they-
flat. Go ahead.
when they came down, they're doing all these interviews and stuff, acting like, oh, we're astronauts and we're this and we're that, and they are just getting hammered
Astronaut.
with people trolling them.
Right. I've seen the. Oh, you've been into space for 10 seconds. You're an astronaut now.
They
Yeah.
don't even need help. They don't even need the
Like-
fucking, what do you call it, helmets. They didn't go high enough.
I've seen my wife's vagina on their honeymoon. Am I a gynecologist now?
I mean, I think they have to wear. What do you call it, mask? But they don't have to wear the fucking.
No, they wore there's designer made, custom made jumpsuits,
Oh, Jesus.
no helmets. Their training, they had 2
All right,
days
so
of
then they had
training.
they had like the Air Force fucking mask on their face, then, right?
No,
They didn't
no
have any of that?
oxygen. The capsule was all windows.
Oh,
You know, there was
They had
no
to be pumping
re-entry.
oxygen in then.
So,
They had to be pumping oxygen in, no?
huh?
I said it would have had
No.
to have been pumping
They
Yeah,
all
it's
they
got
were.
oxygen tanks in it.
because of the force of them
Well,
going
yeah,
up.
oxygen. Yeah,
Yeah. So it had
But-
to have had oxygen in it, or they wouldn't be. They'd have to have the mask
They
on, like the pilots do.
they were talking about how they did all the
jet
training and this, that, and the other. 2 days of training. One day was how to get in and out of the space get it in and out of the glands, and the other one was how to buckle your seatbelt.
Why couldn't that thing
So-
just fucking land in the ocean somewhere?
Now
It
they
did.
landed on the
Oh, no, it
ground.
landed on the ground, yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying, why couldn't it have just landed in the fucking ocean somewhere?
Right. But they come down acting all hoity-toity, and we're an inspiration to young women.
Oh yeah.
What are you inspiring? If you fuck the right guy, he'll send you up in a spaceship for a minute. But it was like, what? Katy Perry, that friend of,
I used to love her until I'll tell you a story why I don't love her no more.
that friend of that talk show host from back in the day. Her
Oh,
best friend,
yeah.
Gail
Yeah,
something.
Gail King.
Oh, fucking Ellen's fucking girlfriend.
No. Girl, my best friend, girl.
Gail
Oh.
King.
Oprah's girlfriend.
Oprah's
Oprah.
girlfriend.
And it was the some actress or whatever who's screwing Jeff Bezos. And then some other girl, I didn't know who she was, but they
It
were
was-
acting all hoity-toity and
And
stuff.
there's a
I'll tell you
perfect
who it is.
example.
It was Katy Perry, and then Lauren Sanchez,
Dirty.
Aisha Bow, and she's actually a NASA rocket scientist.
Mhm.
Civil rights activist Amanda. I don't know how you say it. It's a. I think it's a Korean name. It's Nguyuen. I think it's Young.
Win.
Win.
Trust me, it's win. You know why?
Because you work for
Because-
somebody with that name.
No. There's a poker player. His last name is Win, and it's Nugyy.
Oh, yeah, I like that guy.
And then there was a film producer named Carrie Ann Flynn.
Yeah. And one of them screwing Bezos, so
Scotty
they all
Wins.
got to go up in
That's
the
Lauren
rocket.
Sanchez.
Well, here's the thing. You
The
know,
Dirty Sanchez.
that's what I said. Here's the thing that money can buy. Here's the old saying that money can buy everything, and it can. You know why? Because I'm trying to figure out who's the most homely as fuck, Bezos or the fucking nitwit that owns fucking Tesla.
Bezos is all beefed up now, full of steroids and shit, and
Oh,
shaved
well,
his
he's what,
head.
he
He looks
looks like a
totally
fucking-
different.
He looks more like a toad than fucking numbnuts
Mike.
there. What?
Mike, what you don't understand is once you hit that $1 billion status, you're fucking gorgeous to women.
That's
no
what I
matter
said.
what
Money
you
can
look
buy
like.
anything you
Right.
want. That's why I said. That's why I preface it with money can buy anything you want. It's just,
Well,
it's just
I
unbelievable.
think he could have done better with the looks of her. Just saying. She must be good at
Well.
something.
But anywho,
But anyhow, them poor girls are getting hammered on the internet so bad. I'm almost starting to feel
What?
sorry for them.
I don't fuck them. They, you know what? Listen, Katy Perry had a bunch of bad things to say about fucking Huntington's disease. So that douchebag that I used to fucking spank too, she's all done.
Huh.
I'm
I
glad
can't
they kicked her off
believe it.
American Idol too. Got my
Wow.
girlfriend. Now she's on. Now my girlfriend's on there. So
Oprah?
Carrie Underwood.
He said Oprah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that show in a while.
Oprah's not my girlfriend. Hillary is.
Oh.
Come on, you wouldn't tap
Okay.
that. Come
It's
on.
the glasses, isn't it?
You mind sticking your head under the covers or? Okay. Tell everybody good night.
Sticking her head under the covers. What are you guys up to? Oh,
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Playing
young
turtle.
lady.
Good night.
night, Susie.
Night, sweetheart.
Night, night. Good night, love. Good dream.
No, when the girl's cold, she sleeps with her head under the covers,
God
which
bless
is total not good for you.
No.
No, not good for her either. If you rip one out,
I'll teach her a lesson. Running steady. Nothing. You just never mind. Go about your business.
Oh, don't start that, man.
I know. I'm going to turn my camera off for a minute to get me a salmon patty sandwich. I'll be right back.
Yummy.
Why am I not a salmon guy?
I wish my guy would put me to bed like that.
Why am I not a salmon guy?
I don't know.
I like whitefish. My favorite fish to eat is swordfish.
What kind?
Swordfish.
Oh, swordfish. Okay.
What?
Anytime we go to dinner, swordfish. You know, but I love swordfish. A lot of people don't like it because it's oily or whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
What's in the other container? Yeah,
I've only been fishing once fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I went down the lake. I think it was right after the ice broke, and I think it was like 48, 50 degrees or something. I said, fuck it. So I forget what the fuck happened. Oh, my wife called me. And she's like, I got you on Life 360. Your car's not at work. I said, I'm not there. She goes, you didn't get up? I said, no, I got up. I just didn't go. But so I threw some in and caught a couple of little perks. But
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you what, that fucking water was cold. Fuck. I was talking to an old timer walking his dog. And he says, you're a diehard, huh? What do you mean? You waiting for the ice to break? He says, no, I ice fish too. And he says,
Go
all
on.
right, I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you to answer it honestly. I says, okay, but don't be. I says, I'm gonna tell you what I tell everybody else. Don't be afraid to hear an answer. He says, do you like ice fishing better than it? He says, do you rather ice fish or would you rather fish, from a shore, from a boat, whatever? I go, well, it's a toss up. And I said, I said, if I'm in a boat, I just don't go near people. I said, if I'm on shore and a bunch of people show up, then I just leave.
Yeah.
He says, so you like ice fishing better? I said, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
I says, there's less people. I says, unless I do a tournament, which I'll expect there to be people. I said, but there's no people, there's no bugs. You know what I mean? And I said, and I like the winter. I like being outside on a beautiful winter day.
Yep.
You got
You
the
know.
vehicle?
I said,
Yeah.
to me, nothing's, I said, I got a little shanty. It's not the right size that I want, but still blocks the wind, keeps me out of the wind. If it's, on a bad day, I says, you can't beat it.
Right.
I says, and then I says, I don't catch. I says, I'll catch them at least if they're too small. I said, but I said, if it's decent size, I said, I'm gonna eat it. And I said, to me, I said, the fish tastes better from winter to end of May, middle of May. I said, and once the water starts getting warm, I said, you can tell the dip. I'll still eat them, but
Oh yeah, you can wait till yeah, definitely.
they're on ice. They're on ice for 5-6 hours before I fucking. He said, what do you mean they're on ice? I said, I throw them in the fucking ice bucket. He says, no, sir. I said, yeah. I says, I caught some black crappie out of the Merrimack. This is a little big, but I kept it anyways. And he said, how big was it? Oh, 14 inches. He says, yeah. He says, they're fucking using that river, aren't they? I go, yeah. I said,
Cool.
He goes, but you know the funny part? I go, what? He says, did you catch a bunch? I goes, no. I said, I caught one day, one the next day. I go, but I said, usually, if you hit a school, you're in there all day and you can just fucking pull them out.
Yeah.
I go, but I've never had that on the river. He goes, me neither. He said, I catch them. He says, and a million of them in there. He says, but I never just sat there and did this, catching crappie. I says, I know, it irritates the shit out of me. I said, I see people going to Maine and stuff, fishing on lakes, and they're just doing this.
Wow.
Crappie. It's like watching fucking Blue Gabe fucking crappie fish down in Florida on, what the fuck's that giant lake down there in Florida? Anyways, he's on that giant lake, and they just sit there and they fucking. I'm like, why don't you use a fucking net?
Right.
You see, his brother had fucking 2 more strokes in one
Yeah,
day.
that's sad.
I don't know how he's
Still.
doing. I don't know if he's talking or if he's walking or no, whatever.
We
But
still can't say his daughter's names.
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Here's a guy to fucking. He sometimes, truth be told, sometimes he does get to me. It gets to me when people like him have money. He's, I'm feeding my family. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Because you're taking a line from people that do it to feed their family.
Right.
Legit. Like, you know what I mean? And so it bothers me because he ain't poor.
No, he's not poor.
You know what I mean? So, and some of the stuff, like the fishing slayer, Stumper, what the fuck you doing, kid?
Hey, Stump.
You want to come up?
Welcome back, Gunpowder.
Actually, Stump. What the thing is, I told Stump I caught that black crappie and I ate him, and I told him, he says, Mike, you want the I don't know whether he told me. I asked. It doesn't really matter. He said you want like 10 inches, 10 inches is a good.
That's what she said.
Yeah, 9 to 10 inches is a good eating fish for crab. But yeah, let me see if I can find that. Nah, I'd have to fucking go. I wouldn't be able to. Just
Oh,
home.
sorry to hear that, Stump. Just got
Oh,
home from the hospital, stomach issues again.
Sorry, kid.
Sorry, Stump.
Hey, Stump. Sorry to hear that, bro.
Stump, I tell everybody about you. As I got this buddy of mine lives down in fucking the middle of fucking nowhere in fucking South Carolina. I said, he doesn't hunt, he kills. They're all like, is he a serial killer? I don't know. So I tell him the story. I says, he sits on his front porch, fucking coffee on the fucking thing. And they're all like, yeah, that ain't hunting, that's killing. I said, yeah, who gives a fuck? Because that's fucking, you know.
Hell, I could have popped about 4 does tonight.
Yeah,
I
you
came out
fucking
early.
watching your fucking video. I'm like, this fuck. That's why I always go, bang. Fuck that bullshit. Who's the closest neighbor? Are you kidding me? Fucking crossbows don't make fucking noise.
I don't have a single neighbor that can see my backyard.
Oh, dude, there wouldn't be a fucking doe in my backyard. Actually, there would be. They'll all be hanging. You know?
Right?
My mom called my front porch the deer stand. That's awesome, Stumper.
Once I get a refrigerator and a freezer, their ass better be more careful.
I might, however, be going for the second time in my life. I might be going fucking turkey hunting.
Oh,
Cool.
I'm
My
just
uncle
trying to
got
figure
one.
out. Well, I got to figure out. I got to figure out a morning where my buddy Sean's at home, and that he can just sit in my living room. And if Jonathan wakes up, you know, then I'll tell. I mean, I'll leave everything for him and everything. But I says, you know, because like I said, he gets up between 10:30 and 11,
Right.
and we can only hunt till fucking noon anyways. So it's you know.
right.
Hey, I never asked you, Mike, but I've been meaning to. Do they have public hunting lands in Mass?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Wildlife, WMAs, wildlife management. Or
Right on.
wildlife. No, that's a zone. What the fuck do they call them? WMDs?
WMA
Wildlife management something. But yes,
area.
yeah, WMAs. Yeah, that's where I only hunt on public land here in Mass. Oh, well, in Maine too. I've never hunted private property. Well,
Right on.
you know, legally. You know, back when I hunted a bunch of,
Not
you know,
that I
you
know about.
guys already know that story. So, but yes, to answer your question, I hunt on public land up here in Mass.
Okay.
And I love it. Turkey hunting, I bet you call them in real good, Mikey. I'm be honest, my buddy, he says, oh, I'm nervous because you don't fucking sit when we're deer hunting. You only sit for an hour and a half, and then you're fucking gone. And I go, I know. And he says, you can't smoke, you can't move. I go, you know, you people drive me crazy. This is the same friend that says I have to be sitting in the woods at fucking 4:30 in the morning. Go fuck your fist. So I said to him, did you ever shoot a deer fucking as soon as the light came on? He goes, no. I said, then I don't need to be in the woods as soon as the light comes on. I go, another thing. I go,
Hey, I'm just saying, I know people that's probably shot deer before the even sun came up. So,
well, that's,
Yeah,
okay,
right.
but I'm talking about legally. So I said to him,
but that's when they're out there. That's when they're available.
I said to him, I sent you that video of the turkey. I says, there's 5 of them crossing the road. I got out of my fucking truck. I sent him a fucking, I was working. I got out of the truck. I make a fucking small. I think I fucking posted it to fucking. It's on my YouTube channel. And I go, I'm doing my best at a call, but you know, I can't.
Wrong.
So I go, that thing was not afraid of me. He was standing there looking at me, and I was fucking 3 feet away from it. So
Yeah.
please don't tell me that you have to be quiet. You can't say anything. Go fuck yourself.
I'm surprised you survived that encounter. Most turkeys kill a human being that close. They're dangerous. Man. Very dangerous. Have you not been watching the news, Mikey?
Oh, I know they're dangerous, but listen, when
These
they're
turkeys
not.
have been killing people in the millions in the past couple of weeks.
Oh,
They
really?
carry
Oh, Lord.
knives and guns and everything.
Yeah. Are they Spanish?
Hmm.
Oh, no,
I'm
that's
sorry.
just racist.
I'm sorry, Latino.
No, there's one here. There's an area called Cuyahoga Falls, and there's a damn big ass Tom that he just owns the town, man. He goes wherever he wants, and he attacks the mailman and everything.
And that's my. It's funny you say they text the mailman because I got a cousin that's a letter carrier, and she's like, "What do I do? What do I do?" I just kill it. And she's like, "No, you don't understand. This thing's like coming up to people, and you know." She goes, "Why is he flying?" I says, "Because he's got fucking what do you call it on his fucking
Spurs.
fucking 3/4 inch, 1 inch fucking spur going to you. It's gonna not gonna feel good." And I says, just call the fucking the wildlife control, not the animal control, wildlife control.
Right.
And I says they'll come down to you if it's that much of a nuisance and it might get hurt. They'll take it.
I heard turkeys all day in the woods today.
Oh, cool.
I'm like, why can't they just fucking happen to me? I just fucking. You want to come up to me? I'll fucking kick you right in the face and kill you.
Just because Mikey said it earlier and it really grinds my gears, and it's something I want to bring up, see what you guys think.
What'd I say?
You know what really grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears? The word faggot?
No. When you said Latino. Have you ever noticed when you're watching the news or whatever, when someone has a Spanish or Hispanic or Latino name, the white woman who's been speaking perfect English her entire life, all of a sudden now has to have a Hispanic accent when she says Julio Garcia's Ramirez. Like, why can't you just say Julio Ramirez? Why do you have to do that?
Yes.
You forgot the big long tongue roll.
Right,
It's
but
like,
have you noticed they've been doing that? Like all these newscasters and stuff. It's
well,
like,
it's the same when you're talking about Sylvester Stallone, right? And you're talking about the Rocky movies, and you have to talk like Rocky, right? The Godfather movies, you have to talk like a guinea. I can say that because I'm Italian, so I'm not racist. So all you people can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but the question is,
I can do that.
Do they start talking hood rat if they're talking about a black person?
No.
I don't know. See, I try to explain this to a guy at work. The guy at work says to me, he says, this is the same guy that asked me. Did I tell you guys this? Guy asked me at XPO if he pulls me off to the side. He says, "Mike, I got a question for you." I go, "What?" He goes, "If I call you a redneck, is that like calling somebody the N-word?" I goes, "Fuck no. You call me redneck all you want." So, because I always wear, I either got my camo boots on, I got a fucking camo hat. I always wear something fucking camo. And anyways, so the same guy asked me, and I'm like, hell no. So
just don't say redneck cracker.
I mean, it would be like one of the newscasters. It'd be like one of the newscasters here in Cleveland going, you know, a 57-year-old Massachusetts man, you know, was gotten a wicked pissa the other day. You know?
No, but it's like I said to him, I said guinea, and he goes, "Mike, that's like you can't say that." I says, "Yes, I can." I says, "Like the black guys calling the black guys the N-word, the same exact thing. I'm not black, so I can't say the word. Guess what? If you're not Italian, you can't say guinea. Go fuck yourself."
Well, guinea pig. How's that, huh? How you like that? How you like me now? You big ass guinea pig.
Look, you better be fucking Italian, or you're gonna be fucking in some problems there, kid.
Hey, you know what?
You know what?
With this donkey? Hey, you got a problem with this donkey? Huh?
I haven't seen no lawsuits yet in court.
Gunpowder, I hope so. I'm gonna tell you something, because the first time I went turkey hunting, didn't blow off of me. Yep, right over the fucking top of him. And the kid I'm with goes, "How do you know when over the top?" "How do I know? You see all the fucking leaves?" They're all Still floating down.
You don't aim at the head, you aim at the neck.
I am right at
That
his
way
fucking
their
head.
head is at the center of the pattern.
And I let that thing rip, and he went doink. And I'm like, motherfucker, not one BB hit that fucking prick. Not fucking one.
Dude, I
Guy
had a
in
deer,
Maine. The
I
guy
had
in
a
Maine
deer
that we
duck on me.
Huh?
Have you ever seen a deer duck?
No.
Like flinch,
Seriously,
like they flinch, but they like go all the way down to their knees,
No.
Yeah, bow
and you'll
hunting.
shoot right over top of them too.
A deer duck?
Yeah.
Deer duck. As soon
I
as
had
you
it.
pull that trigger, man, they flinch, and then you miss them.
You know what, the guy up in Maine gets fucking his turkey every year. He never missed a turkey. He's been doing it since he was a teenager. You know how he does it? He'll follow a flock of he grabs a sleeping bag. He'll follow a bunch of turkeys to where they're roosting, and then he'll sleep underneath the same trees that they're roosting.
Oh wow.
And then he
Like-
waits.
That kind of seems illegal.
It's not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's not illegal.
Oh, I know in Ohio you're not allowed to shoot them while they're in the roost.
No. He's not shooting him in the roost. I said he sleeps over. He has a sleeping bag. He sleeps under the tree in which they're roosting. In the morning, he waits for them to come down out of their fucking roost, and he lets them have it. He's been doing it since he was 16, 17 years old, and he's like my age.
No, that's an option.
He's never not shot. In all those years, he's never not killed a fucking turkey.
Wow.
He just he finds them. As soon as he finds them, okay, boom, see ya. Get his backpack, off he goes. He'll stay behind him all day long. All day long.
My dad used to, right before the sun come up, my dad would do like a hoot owl call,
Yep.
and all them turkeys would be like, because they're afraid of a hoot owl.
Right.
Then you know where they're at.
It's called shock calling.
Is that what it's called?
It shocks them into gobbling.
But I want to go. My wife says, yeah, you shoot me a turkey. I says, babe, I'm going to tell you this one last time. It's not the same fucking meat that you're going to get in the store. Oh, I know. No, you don't. But just for Christ's sake, you wouldn't let me shoot the fucking partridge out in the backyard that day. Ow.
Man, you know what I want to do is I haven't been forever. Is pheasant hunting. I love to pheasant hunt.
Mhm.
I've never been pheasant hunting.
Yeah, it's a ball.
Never been pheasant hunting. They fucking
Pheasant hunting, and I
You know what
like
they do
to
here?
hunt grouse too, but those things
Well,
scare
yeah.
the shit out of you.
they flood the fucking WMAs with the fucking pheasant, and then you know what they do? They tell everybody
Yeah.
on fucking May 10th we're gonna fucking
Oh yeah,
So,
and you got
by
you
May
got
12th
1,000 people out there fucking
Yeah.
hunting
by
pheasants.
May 12th there ain't a fucking pheasant to be found because and the ones that are the fucking coyotes get them or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, and none of them are making the winter. You know what I'm saying? There ain't a one of them making the winter here.
Yeah, they're all pen raised.
Yeah, exactly. If you go pheasant hunting, please.
So
save
basically
us.
they're wild chickens.
Hey, Gunpowder said if you go pheasant hunting in Ohio, to save her some feathers. She likes to be tickled with them. Is it for a headdress or is it for, you gonna go all share on us? See how I threw that in their dish?
She moved yet?
No, I don't think so.
Ha! Rosie O'Donnell did, and she's not happy where she's living.
Yeah, she's in England, right?
No, Ireland.
Same fucking thing. They talk funny.
Just because her name's O'Donnell, she thinks she can go to that country and like
No,
they're going
she's
to
on an
welcome her.
island.
They can't stand that bitch.
Yeah, well, you know who can't stand that bitch is the fucking what's his name, the old fucking UFC fighter. Chuck
Conor
fucking
McGregor?
Kyle. What's his name?
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, him. I just
He
saw
didn't
it.
even know who she was.
Yeah, I just saw
Cody.
it there with those two.
The one guy says, "Hey, you know, we hear Rosie O'Donnell moved to Ireland." He's like, "Who?" I think that was a slap in the head.
You're right.
See, my thing is that you can't insult. I don't give a fuck if you want to hide behind your profession of being a comedian, right? But you can't insult somebody without thinking it's going to come back at you. So she insulted fucking Trump all those years ago, and he gave it back to her, and she wasn't expecting it, and now she thinks it's wrong. Go fuck yourself.
I seen
You're
an
the one sitting here
interview.
making fun of him. He made fun of you. Stop crying. I said,
Yeah,
you know
get
what else
over it.
pisses me
I
off?
can tell you.
You know what else pisses me off about those fucking cackling little douchebag women that are on The View? They all fucking hugged him in 2016 when he first ran.
Right?
Watch the old tapes. I am not lying to you.
They
Kisses-
were
kisses
saying
from
you
everybody.
should run.
Kisses from everybody. Even Joe Bearhair Bar, whatever the fuck that bitch's name is.
Hey, Whoopi Goldberg put him in some of her movies.
Right. And so the thing is that now he's president. Oh, he's bad. You can't talk to you. Shut the fuck. Shut. I can't. I just can't do
That's
it.
because they assumed he was going to be a Democrat, and he switched parties, and they flipped
But
out.
he's not. You guys really do know he's really not a Republican, right?
Oh,
Right.
absolutely. That's
Absolutely.
why I voted for him,
He is
because he
more-
was independent.
Well, I wouldn't even say independent. I think he's more center than anything, but I'll take the independent. But I think he's more. I think he is. I think he's more center than anything else. But
You know
but
what?
yeah,
No, I'll tell you what he
or
is.
staunch moderate that can.
No, he's a Democrat, and he's what the Democrat Party used to be.
Yes.
He's for the working man and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he has actually changed the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Because it's just that he's one of those what would have been like what we call original Democrat that is basically sticks up for your gun rights and your religion and all that stuff, and is sick of this transgender, agenda. Right. That's all he is.
But did you hear Bill Maher?
Yep.
Bill Maher says, no, I always thought Bill Maher was funny, but Bill Maher says there's now another party. And now he's been a fucking Democrat since forever. Like his parents were Democrat, he's Democrat, right? And Bill Maher says, I mean, he still is, but he's just, pointing out to Democrats that you're a bunch
Bill
of
Maher claims to be he's the old liberal.
Yes.
Not what the new
But
liberals are.
The funny part is this. He says, so we have Republicans, we have Democrats, and then the next election, we're going to vote for a woke. He says it's their own party. And
yeah,
he couldn't be more right, because there are Democrats out there that, and I'm not talking about the moderate ones that you can work with. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just saying regular Democrats out there, okay, that you can sit at a table and you can discuss shit and you can get shit done.
Right.
Well, they don't believe in all that shit until they get to tell it's time to vote, and they got to go party line.
Without fucking, and it was like Ohio was just saying, and it's without the fucking all the bullshit. Okay.
I
just went through this in Burlington, Mass. In Burlington, Mass, they just had this thing at a school, and they sent a letter home saying they were doing it, not for a permission slip. They said they were doing it. Okay. Actually, I think there was a permission slip or something, not a permission slip, but some type of acknowledgement. And so some parents said, no, go fuck yourself, but the kids still had to go to school. So you ready for this? It's all online. Look up Burlington, Mass. Look up Burlington, I think it was middle school. And they're talking about one of the parents wrote off the question, the questions that the teacher was asking. Have you? Now this is middle school. This isn't seniors in high school. Have you ever had sex? How many teachers how many teachers when you guys were in school actually have you ever had sex?
What?
Not
middle school?
not a guidance counselor. A
Teacher.
fucking teacher. In the middle school, which would our middle school would be junior high, right? Pretty much.
Well,
So it'd be seventh, 8th grade. Okay.
yeah, beginning junior high, not
Yeah, seventh, 8th grade was junior high to us. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you believe that you're a male or a female? This, that, and that. I'm telling you have to go online to get this parent and see what the question. And these were the actual questions that they asked these kids. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's none of your business.
Hey, I will forever stand behind the fact that certain people in certain communities recruit young people, all because, well, why? Because you can't reproduce. When you can't reproduce, you have to recruit.
True that.
But I just think it was kind of rude. I mean, we had a family living class when I was in junior high that taught you about the birds and the bees. No, there was no pictures. There was no videos. They were all
Right.
stencils in a book. Okay. And they showed the reproductive system, this, that, and the other thing, all that crap. They learned how you had a baby pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Then you went home and you watched, what was the after school special? I think that's what it was called, right?
Yeah,
channel.
ABC after school
ABC.
special.
ABC after school special. My mom's having a baby. Okay, so or the boy in the bubble, right? All those fucking, all right. But it stopped there. It wasn't. Hey, Mike. Do you think you should? Are you a girl today? Do you want to be a guy? Do you have tendencies towards boys? Do you have tendencies towards girls? First of all, why would you ask a 7th or 8th grader that? First of all, that's a personal thing for that person that they're asking. It's nobody's business if they're gay or lesbian, whatever. It's none of their
especially outing them in a public classroom.
First of all, you're speaking to a minor. Number one, you're not speaking to an adult that can fucking, you know what I mean? If somebody, and this is why I'm telling you, I talk to people. This is why a lot of people.
There's a reason Trump signed an executive order.
But this is why a lot of people in the gay community won't come out, because of people like these fucking people, And I strongly fucking get pissed off at people that pressure people, and you're talking about children. You're not talking about an adult, and I can't stand that they fucking pressure adults, let alone now they're pressuring children. Are you kidding me?
Well, I'm starting to think that scoliosis test your gym teacher gave us in the 8th grade, that he probably shouldn't have put his finger up my butthole, should he?
Well, that wasn't a scoliosis test. That was a cavity search.
Do you guys remember the scoliosis test? Do you ever have to do those?
I don't remember.
You had to go into like the locker room, and like you would like take your shirt off and then put your hands to your side, and you'd bend over, and the gym teacher or nurse or whoever was there would like run their fingers like down your spine.
Oh yeah, I know. I had that in high school. I had that freshman year in high school. Yeah. And then that's when I came home and I said to my mother, I said, "Hey, the lady said one of my nipples is shorter than lower than the other one." And she just looked at me. She goes, "What?" Oh yeah. So look at my shirt. I go, "Ma, is one of my nipples?" And she says, "Where do I get that from?" And I almost said, "You would, Dad." And I'm like, "Do you really just ask my,
Oops.
My mother started pissing herself laughing because she knew what I was going to ask, right? And I'm like, "Ma, I didn't." She goes, "Relax, honey. It's fine. I'm finding it really funny." She says, "Wait till I call your father and tell your father." I'm like, "No."
One of the first and only times you ever heard Mike say that he actually bit his tongue and didn't say it.
Right.
I know, right? And so, but yeah, but it's you don't have the right to ask a fucking 7th grade, 8th grade, or 6th grade, whatever the fuck.
Not a teacher.
What his or her preference is, no matter what they are. What's that, honey? I didn't hear what you said.
That's nobody's business.
Absolutely. You're absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like,
It,
even if you're an
if the-
adult, though, it's the same thing.
if
You
the
know,
kid
it's
is
like-
having issues, he can reach out and go talk to a guidance counselor
Right.
who
Or
are
a friend
trained
or
in
so- whatever.
personal stuff.
Or a friend or a confidant, whatever. But Jesus Christ. It's like,
That's why Trump signed an executive order getting that shit out of schools.
I am 57 years old. And if I wasn't married and somebody said, so, listen, so you're 57, you've never been married, are you gay? You know where they'd wind up? And not because they asked me if I was gay or being gay is a bad thing. That has nothing to do with it. You're getting knocked the fuck down because you asked the fucking question. It's none of your fucking business.
Right?
You know what I mean? And this is
That's
what bothers
between me, myself, and my boyfriend. So shut up.
Absolutely. No, but I'm just saying that but it is though.
Yeah. Well, the
It
thing
is.
is, I mean, I'm not gay, but my boyfriend is.
Yeah, right. He's gay enough for the both of us.
I'm being serious though. It's nobody's fucking business.
Well, that's
Same
like
thing. Mikey,
was
we've
a
been telling you
huge-
for years. It's the same thing with guns. It's none of your fucking business how many guns I have.
It was a
Exactly.
huge
I-
thing back in the day not to say who you voted for. That was a very private
Right. You didn't
thing.
talk about politics or religion at all at work, and now that's all you talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk
Yeah, I
about-
voted.
I don't
Well,
allow
who'd you vote for? That's none of
I
your
don't allow
business.
it here
Well, you don't ask somebody that.
either. Nowadays, if you can't tell who people are voting for, you're a fucking idiot.
Or blind.
You know?
I don't know. There's a lot of people that I thought would vote one way that definitely went the other way.
The one that surprised me a lot is what's her name came right around. Megyn Kelly. I mean, not right around. It wasn't like it took her fucking 2 days, but it took her about five years, but she came around.
Oh, I didn't know she was on the other side.
Oh, she
Well,
was
no,
fucking
what
Democrat
it
forever.
was the Rosie
I remember-
O'Donnell comment.
No, it wasn't even that. It was the comment towards Megyn Kelly. He fucking
What?
walked up one side of her, down the other side, and wouldn't let it go.
Right.
Go back and
Well, I
look at all
mean,
the fucking tapes.
she started it with the Rosie O'Donnell comment at the
Right.
debate.
Right.
Right.
But then
One of Trump's most hilarious moments.
and he wouldn't let it go. And she took a fucking verbal assault from the guy, and now she's voting for him. So
Well, because she is a conservative woman who doesn't want to see the country head down the
Yeah.
wrong path like it has been
But you
for
see,
years.
and what's his name? I don't Bill Maher. This is why I like Bill Maher, right?
You know,
Because
he met Trump, right?
Yeah, I know. He has no
He had
problem.
dinner with him.
I know. He has no problem telling people he's Democrat. And you shouldn't have a problem telling people what you are. Because you shouldn't be shit on for whatever fucking side you want, right?
Yeah, right.
So,
Unlike the radicals.
but he has no problem telling the Democrats what they're doing wrong, and he still shits all over the Republicans. And that's the way it should be.
Well, no,
I'm
that's
sorry.
because you can do that as a Democrat. You can't do that as a Republican because you'll lose your job, you'll lose your
Yeah.
family, they'll key your car, they'll firebomb your house, they'll do all kinds of shit to you. You can't speak out as a Republican or conservative. You
Yeah, well,
just have to keep your mouth shut. Half the people that voted for Trump didn't have a goddamn Trump sign in their yard because they didn't want their house to get vandalized.
no,
They
I
don't
think,
put Trump bumper
I think-
stickers on their cars because they don't want their cars keyed up.
right, but I think,
I
think a lot
these
of
people are destroying Tesla cars and trucks, and they don't even know who owns them. Half the people that bought these Teslas bought them 5 years ago when they were Elon Musk fans when they were on the left.
Right.
Yeah.
but
Saving the planet.
I think most people, most Democrats that voted Republican in this last election voted because they're tired of the
Bullshit.
well, it's mainly the wokeness, right? They're tired of the fucking
No, they're tired of these fucking freaks going after our goddamn children. That's what they're tired
yeah.
of. I'll fucking
You
say
know.
it right out loud. We're tired of all these fucking freaks and pedophiles and fucking
Well,
vulgar
yeah, it's not even that though. It's
people.
it's guys and girls sports. It's a slew of fucking things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Going after
Yeah.
our children.
You know, but you
They're
know,
trying to make our kids, the generations after us, they're trying to make them see this shit every day and be okay with it, so they can live their fucking degenerate lives and not have to worry about it. You know, they're trying to normalize every fucking thing that
Right.
is against human nature.
right.
Minor attractive person.
Being
Right.
asking questions in school. Are you gay? Do you feel? Are you this? Are you that? And it's like,
Oh, I would love.
funny
I
one.
would.
I take
I
camera
would
girls.
love to go back in time and be a student and have one of my teachers ask me that.
Oh my god, I had to take camera girls to the doctors the other day. She had conjunctivitis, and the nurse says, she looks right at me. She says, "I have to ask this." Now she going on her own. She's 18, but the wife says go in with her because she pays attention about as much as the father does. So I go in, and the nurse looks right at me, but she's talking to my daughter, and she goes, "And do you feel safe at home?" And she goes, "As long as I don't upset him." So I start
Yeah.
laughing. The nurse looks
They
at me.
ask you feel safe at
Oh,
home, and we actually had a doctor.
They
not
asked
a
me the
doctor,
same
but
thing.
the nurse, if we had guns in the house, and I wrote on the little because it was on the questionnaire thing.
Yeah.
I wrote none of your business.
Good for you.
New red flag thing. They're using students in Michigan to tattle on their parents if they got guns in the house. They're
Right, because Michigan has that
questioning
fucking stupid ass law.
Well,
I
It's because
knew
you
it
guys
would
have
come
that
to
stupid
that.
ass law for the lock your guns up law or whatever.
Yeah, and the red flag bullshit too.
we don't have that law.
No, you can't
No, they
own.
didn't get that law until after that school shooting up there.
Right at the college. You know, from the criminal they let out of jail multi times.
Oh, I thought it was from the boy, where the parents gave him the gun.
No. It was after the college one. That's what sparked all that shit.
Oh.
It's like the laws are on the books. You had the guy in custody.
You talking about the Michigan State shooting?
Yeah. That's what sparked all that.
Well, you didn't hear a whole lot about that shooting because of the well, first of all, let's just say it. The shooter wasn't your typical Republican NRA white conservative. So
That's
therefore,
right.
which,
Yeah.
you know what, if you look back in history,
Now
I
there
don't
was-
think there's ever been a mass shooting that has been conducted by a NRA conservative.
Yeah.
No.
And you know what is easy proof of that? There wasn't 150 people unlived. You know, from somebody who knows how to shoot.
Well, obviously the kid that
Yeah.
fucking took a pot shot at fucking Trump doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Does he? I mean, look how far he was away, and he still hit him. I mean, if Trump wouldn't have moved, he'd be dead.
He hit him. What's that mean? So he tried to take a fucking headshot, dummy. Why don't you just take a fucking torso shot or a fucking neck shot or a fucking
body
whatever?
armor. Body
I'll
armor.
tell you why. Well, body armor is for one thing because they wear it, but the other thing is that was a live televised event.
Yeah.
A headshot spoke more political than body
Right.
shot.
I'm sure he
Just
wasn't
like
an
Kennedy.
NRA kid.
No, but he was in a gun club and shit. But he still, you could tell he wasn't, you know, that type of kid. And there's a bunch of stink about the whole situation there.
And not for nothing, using an AR. Why not just use a fucking 308? Probably
Yeah,
would
no
have
shit.
308. you know?
Hey, let's stop putting it on the kid and ask why are we watching the blood off the roof and cremating the
other-
body just the next day
Yeah,
before we can take the evidence, you know?
and scrubbing the house. There was
Well,
no
yeah.
silverware and shit in the house. I wonder where his parents are living now. Some mansion somewhere, probably, for all the money they gave the kid. Just saying. And the second guy with 6 phones. Give me a break.
And he was
Just
from
came
Michigan,
over
right?
from Ukraine.
He was from Michigan, right?
I don't think so.
No, he was from down south, wasn't he?
Hey, did I tell you we have a fucking serial killer here in New England?
Yeah. Possible truck driver.
On the loose?
Yeah. He's killed like 8 people.
This is the second time this has come up about the truck driver shit.
But I'll tell you what. We had one, I don't care what anybody says. And so we're all out shooting shit one night, and one of my cousins says, I think there's a serial killer in Boston. And I almost broke my neck again, fucking. And she goes, what? You gonna tell me there isn't? I goes, oh fuck no. I says, are you referring to all these people that are missing, walking out of bars, and I think it was a woman walked out of a house party and her car was 120 yards from the house, because it's the city, right? So she had to walk 120 yards and then never seen again. Her car's there. Her purse was on the fucking hood of the car, the whole thing. Okay. Never to be seen again. This is the city of Boston. This isn't the one that's here now. This isn't the one that I'm talking about now. The one that's in New England now. This is another one. This is probably 6 years ago. Maybe a little longer than that. We're in 25. Probably 2016 or 17 or something. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways. Guys disappearing out of bars. Be right back. I'm going out. I gotta get it. Whatever. One guy left the bar, walked across the street. The cameras have him walking across the street, and that's the last time anybody didn't see him. And I'm like, yeah, and it's not 1, 2. This is like 6 people, 5 people. Yeah, never to be. It's
That sounds like a couple of people snagging him and throwing him in the vehicle.
You know what I think? I think this New England fucking serial killer is the same one.
It sounds like it's somebody that stays up late and sleeps in till like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning every morning.
Must be a cop.
Could be a neighbor.
Gotta be law enforcement.
Recently quit his job.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Not me. Not me.
Says he's bored. He's got all this extra time on his hands.
No. I don't do that to people. I would only do that to people that piss me off. Oh, the other night, speaking of getting pissed off. So
Who don't piss you off?
So I didn't even tell you guys. So the day I told Dish off here, Dish and Shalisa, but so my stepmother died the 15th of April, and the day before, my neighbor upstairs, Sean, comes running downstairs at 6:30 in the morning, banging on the door. I get to the door and he's like, Mike, she's gone. She's gone. I said, who? He goes, Christy. I said, dude, the fucking car's sitting right there. He's no, Mike, she's dead. I go, what? Go upstairs. She's as blue as my fucking Pepsi ball. 44 years old. Where the fuck was I going with this?
Things that
Did
take
you
you
get?
off.
Did you
I
get
don't know,
the
but
shot?
who is dead? Is the
The 14th.
neighbor's? Is this your neighbor's wife or something?
Yes, the 14th, my neighbor's wife died in her sleep. The 15th, my stepmother died. The very next morning, my stepmother died. So now, Thursday night, I come home from work, and I hear her son, who's 9, he's out in the parking lot, and I'm like, I come out down off the stairs. I'm on the thing. And I look at him, and he waved. So I'm like, okay, he's cool. So then I was in the kitchen. I don't know, helping the wife do something, and Sean, the father, he comes walking through the door. The one I call Kramer. He comes walking through the fucking door, and he goes, Mike. I go, what's the matter? He goes, the fucking cocksucker's trying to take my kid. I go, who? And he says, fucking Christy's brother. And I'm like,
Oh, great.
what? So I go outside, and this fucking kid, fat as fuck, comes up to me, and he says, I said, what's going on? He goes, well, he says, Colin was just telling me that he's afraid to go home. I go, well, that's a lie. I said, because he's been with his dad all day long. I said, so that's just an out and outright lie. And he goes, no, I'm telling you. I said, you ain't gonna tell me anything. I said, it's a lie. I don't need to hear it. So I said, where is he now? He's always upstairs. I goes, well, if he's afraid of him, why is he upstairs? He says, well, I'm here to take him. I said, you ain't taking that fucking kid anywhere. He goes, well, yes, I am. I said, I'm going to tell you one thing right now, what's going to happen. Either the cops are going to come or you're going out in an ambulance. I said, so you pick. So, oh, you want me to call? I said, I don't give a fuck. Call him. So then he starts yelling at me. I start yelling at him. And of course, sure as shit, the fucking cops show up. And so my neighbor says, are you cool? I said, I don't give a fuck. Dude, I said, I could give two shits less. I said, I didn't hit him. And my wife's like, yeah, but you told me you were gonna fucking kill him, make him go on an ambulance. I said, I don't give a fuck. So I said, wouldn't it be the first time I got arrested? So what? It's been there, done that. So the cop showed up. He only asked me one question, and the kid never ratted me out or anything like that anyways. So I says to Sean, I said, listen, I said, don't get close to the cop. I said, you make body contact, it's a felony. I said, so don't get near him. Because Mike, they're not going to take your fucking kid, knock it off. I said, you didn't do anything wrong.
Now that was his wife, for real wife?
Yes. So now the cop says, I do have to go upstairs and interview your son. Can I have permission to interview your son? He says, of course you can. He brings him upstairs. Well, he went upstairs, brings the cop upstairs, comes downstairs. And Sean says, well, hang on a minute. I says, he's calling me. And so now the cop's standing there, and I go, how'd that work out? The cop just looked at me. I says, that fat bastard over there called you guys. I says, told us that he was afraid to go with his father. I says, that's a false report. I says, because obviously you just interviewed the boy, and the boy has no issues with his father. I said, so that's a false report. That's a total fabricated fucking lie.
Yeah, the kid's
I'm about,
because his mom died.
And I says, I'm about to fucking tell my friend to go down to your police department tomorrow morning and file a fucking restraining order because that guy's a fucking loser and he shouldn't be anywhere near his fucking, well, his family. I said, no, he's not. He says he sees him fucking once a year. What kind of family is that? I go, trust me, dude, you have no idea. I goes, so he fabricated it. And you're here. This is why you're here. It's because he fabricated something. I said, why don't you go over there and ask him if he did? I says, because guess what? I says, my wife and daughter are standing right here. I says, and they'll tell you the same goddamn thing. So sure as fuck he did. And you know what? The fucking prick doesn't get in fucking trouble for nothing. And I'm like, why is he not getting fucking, at the very least, scolded? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is he not, you know? So this is the wife's brother, stepbrother, right? So I'm like, this ain't right. So I said to Sean, I said, go down to the fucking police department tomorrow morning and file a fucking restraining order on him. I said, and that way that he can't come, 50 yards is here to the park, he can't come in the parking lot. I says, dude, he's all just out to get me. I said, exactly. So fight back. I said, you can't punch him in the face because then you get arrested. Now the kid's staying at my house till you get squared away. I said, so just fucking get out and do it.
They ever figure out what she died of, Mikey? Was it
No,
just
they gotta
natural
wait.
causes?
They gotta wait 6 to 8 weeks. So
I mean, was she sick or anything like that?
well, she had diabetes.
Okay.
So all right. So here's the thing. She was heavy. She got her search. She went down to South Carolina somewhere and got her surgery done for her stomach because apparently it was cheaper in South Carolina.
Yeah. Okay.
And so she went down there. And now that was 2 years ago. She went down there, or 3 years, or 1 year. But then she discovered she had diabetes. Okay. Now she's shedding off the fucking weight like there's nobody's business in the last 3 months. Okay, 4 months, whatever. And even her sister said, you gotta call your doctor. And they were going on some trip down in South America somewhere or whatever to see where are the Mayan ruins. Did I say it right? Mayan?
Yeah.
Mayan?
Yeah.
South
Mexico.
America.
Cancun.
Mayan, M-A-Y-A-N. I don't know.
Mayan.
Yeah.
Mayan ruins that were doing this whole thing. And anyways, and they were supposed to go they were supposed to go the following week because I was taking them to the airport because I'm home. So so her sister says, you got to call your doctor. She, yeah, I'll see the doctor when I get back from the trip. And I saw her. She died Monday morning. I saw her Sunday night. She went to her sister's, dropped a cat off. And then I saw her when she got home. And she looked fine. And then the last time I saw her, like I said, her face she was all blue in here and on her hands. On her, well, the one hand I saw was all blue. So I says to my wife, I says, her, what do you call it, alarm went off because she wore that thing for the
Oh yeah.
on
The
her shoulder,
glucose thing.
on her arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I says, maybe she had and so my wife went to work being a nurse, she went to work. And so she was talking about it with the fucking provider over there. And she said, the chances of her, you're not blue from diabetic coma, if you will.
Right.
So my wife says she probably took whatever she was taking wasn't mixing, wasn't whatever, and that's what, I know that's a long-winded thing, but they said he had to wait 6 to 8 weeks to get the autopsy report back, so he's not going to hear from that until probably,
Well, I mean, if
right
she's
before.
losing this weight and she's losing a lot of weight, she's probably intentionally doing it. So she's probably not eating like she should have. And then she's diabetic. She's probably got then she's low blood sugar, and then her organs and shit are shutting down because she's not giving them the proper,
right.
So it's probably just a hodgepodge of the perfect storm, and she just fucking body shut down,
But and that morning was fucking, oh my God,
A little chaotic.
So, well, we're all in apartments, and we find out she's a hoarder. Well, I knew she was a hoarder anyways, but so everybody's in front of my place. I mean, they live right above me, but I'm giving them coffee, giving them waters, whatever they want, And it started with, I'm sorry, they were supposed to go on their trip the next day because she was bringing her cat.
Yeah,
right. And
dropping the cat off.
Tuesday, they were going. I was taking them to the airport. So we're sitting out front at the picnic table, and her sister says, like, one of her first things she said to Sean was, she gives him a hug and she goes, listen, I have a spare room if you guys want to live with me. 10 minutes later, she said, oh, Carlo needs a car. So if you want, I'll just take the keys and I'll take her car. And I'm like, I'm sitting there. I look at him. He looks at me. I went, "Come here." And he come over, and I said, "Who's that?" He goes, "Well, that's her sister." I go, "She's a cunt." He goes, "Oh yeah." And I go, "You want me to tell her to leave?" He goes, "No, just let her stay." I said, "You sure?" I said, "Because I have no problem doing that." And he goes,
Death brings out the cockroaches.
"Oh my God, you wouldn't even
Does
believe
it ever?
Right. So then there's a whole big thing about you're not burying us, you want to be cremated, and you're not. I'm not burning my wife. The whole fucking thing, fucking. Looks at me and says, "Mike, what do I do?" I said, "Well, have you and Christy ever, in passing, talked about how you want to be dealt with if you died? Did you ever say to Christy, this is what I want?" He said, "Yeah, I want to be buried. He said, I'm afraid of being burnt." I said, "Okay. Did she ever give you her wishes?" And he said, "No." I go, "She never said, Sean, don't, He goes, "The only thing she ever said was that she only wanted to wake or something. And she didn't want to go to church for the funeral or whatever." I said, "Okay. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to do what she said to do. You know why? Because you're her husband and you're going to stick to your wife's wishes."
That's right.
And I says, "And guess what? Nobody else matters." I says, "Because she was your wife. They might be her sister, and I get all that. But you were her husband."
Yeah,
said,
she bears his name.
I said, "So, I says, and by the way, now you're driving He says, "Yeah, but all this fucking shit." He says, "I'm just a fucking idiot I said, "I'm the same way. You're a bozo on a bus taking a ride." He says, "Yeah, exactly." He says, "Yeah, well, now you're driving." I said, "Because a 9-year-old needs somebody to drive the bus." I said, "So drive." I said, "You make the decision and just go from there." So the sister automatically was just looking at me like, "I don't even like you." I'm like, "What the fuck do I care?"
Yeah.
But then she came around. She understood where I was coming from.
Yeah, but she'll still try to
So
get
now-
that free car.
So now I go there. Now we're standing there, and Sean comes up to me. He says, "Am I an asshole for the fucking thoughts in my head?" I go, "Sean, you can't fucking hurt anybody right now." I said, "Because that's just going to make a mess." I said, "You got to think of fucking calling, da da da." He goes, "Oh, God, no, I'm not going to hurt anybody." I said, "So what's going on?" He goes, "I can finally clean the house." I'm just like,
I can finally clean the house.
and his sister's like, when did my sister become a hoarder?" And I says, "Well," I says, "I've been here 6 years." I says, 7 years. And I said, "I'm thinking she's been a hoarder for at least 5. And she says, "How did you know?" "Well, a couple of telltale signs." She was like, "What?" And then Sean, as I'm about to answer her, says, he goes, "Amazon's going to be pissed off at me." And she says, "Why?" They just lost a lot of fucking money.
Wow.
Every day, 7 days a week. Amazon would show up.
Wow.
Amazon would show up
Wow,
with
yeah.
no less than 5 packages. Now here's the other part. You ready? Nothing ever left. Nothing. The only thing that left was trash. Food,
Well,
whatever.
I was going to
Yeah.
say something about the trash. I had a neighbor in
Nothing ever
an
left.
apartment complex one time, and I noticed that. Well, I had a buddy that came over, and we were sitting like on the balcony thing in the back, and he goes, "Man, you smell that?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Smells like trash, like something rotten." And I was like, "I don't know." I started looking around, so I was like, "Maybe it's my trash." So I took my trash out to the dumpster real quick, and he's like, "No, I still smell it." And I was like, "Damn, I don't know." And it turned out to be my neighbor. She never emptied her trash. She just bagged it up and tied it up and just threw it in the corner in like one of the spare rooms.
Mm.
All you had to do is walk it down 3 flights of steps, and there was a dumpster around the size of the building. You know what I mean? and she never did. And I was
Well-
like, I never seen her take her trash out, and that makes sense now, but yeah, they had to pull the carpet out of that, and like they had to do a bunch of shit to that apartment.
Yep.
But
So
they
then,
they evicted her for it.
then one time, she texted me and she said, because I was taking his, well, the truck I have now was his, and she said, Sean said take his truck because there was something wrong with the car. We didn't get to fix it. And anyways, she goes, just take his truck. So I went upstairs to get the keys. Now, we had just left from being out front. So I knew she wasn't naked. I knew she was, and her son's in there. You know what I mean? So I know, like if a chick's naked, she's going to open the door like this much and just give it the keys. You know what I mean? That wasn't the case. She wasn't naked, and she opened the door about this much.
Oh, so you couldn't see in.
Passed the keys out like I saw enough. Literally passed the keys out like that. So right off the bat, I said, I know I'm right. So then my wife says, "What's the matter?" I says, I think Chrissy's a hoarder, and she goes, "No." I'm like, "Yeah." And then like a month later, so the people on the top have enclosed porches, enclosed screen porches up top, and mine's all open, and theirs is enclosed, and all of a sudden there was shit right against the screen from end to end. And I just knew. And so my wife says, "What?" I says, "I'm telling you." And sure as fuck. And so the morning she dies, he says, "Mike, don't, what did he say? How did he say it?" He says, "Don't judge me." He says, "My house is a cyclone." I says, "Dude, I don't give a flying fuck about your house being a cyclone." And he just looked at me. He says, "Oh, it's kind of embarrassing. He says, you're my friend." And I goes, "Listen to me closely." I said, "Being a hoarder is a disease." I said, "Do you not talk to me because I'm a recovering alcoholic?" He goes, "Well, no. Why would I do that?" I says, "Exactly. Why would I not? Why would I not? Why would I give a fuck?" I goes, "It's the same thing." I go, "So don't worry about it. So, but he's got the fucking place just about spotless now. There must be fucking 30 bags right there. Or more. Or more. All the, he went down and got the fucking 50 gallons out of fucking Home Depot. Yeah, he just fucking.
That sounds like a combo hoarder addicted to spending at Amazon.
Yeah.
Shopaholic.
She was.
Yeah, shopaholic. Thank you.
She had a
Lived with-
lot of.
Lived
She
with
had a
one of
lot
those.
of. She had a lot
Hey.
of.
We just. I mean, my wife's dad passed away, and then her mom just passed away, and we just got done with a dumpster. We had a dumpster brought in, and we
Oh boy.
chucking shit out. I mean, the stuff that they had, man. I mean, we still have. We still have.
It's years. It's a lifetime of fucking stuff.
And we still have to go through a bunch more shit, and it's just like, why people save some of the shit
He
that they
came
save?
down.
I'll never know, man.
Dude, he came down with fucking makeup, not even fucking still in the package. He came down with everything for the girls.
Yeah.
For my girls. Name it. It was just. And then, of course,
He should open up a store.
She ordered shit right up until Monday. Well, right up until Sunday. So Tuesday and Wednesday, the shit was still getting Amazon. I had fucking 15 Amazon packages on my front porch. I was holding them for him.
Jesus.
And then
Hey.
I don't know if we were supposed to get rain or whatever, but I brought him in the house. So then I grabbed him because he was going in and out of fucking like losing his mind. So
Yeah.
on a day that I knew he was okay, he comes over, sits on the porch, and he goes, "Jesus Christ, you got a lot of fucking Amazon packages there." He's like, "How come you're not opening them?" I says, "Because they're not mine." He goes, and I looked at him. He goes, "Throw them away." I said, "No, because some of the stuff I did for calling. I said, I'm not throwing that over away." I said, "When you're ready, you can come fucking get them." I said, "They'll be in my house. It's supposed to rain. Gina wants me to bring them in the house." He's okay. So we brought him in the house. He said, "Have at it." Whatever. I said, "No, dude." He says, "Why?" I said, "Because the scally cap's in there. I says, I'm not, because he's, I opened them to see, he told me to. So we opened them, and I told him, I said, dude, there's shorts in there for you guys for going on your trip and shit. I says, there's, you gotta come down and, go through it. There was like 3 scally caps in there. There was a bunch of shit. And he go, and those fishing shirts that breathe?
Mhm.
Right.
She bought him a couple of those. She goes, here, you take them. Throws them at me. And I still got the other shit. We're going to bring it to next door to Katie's closet.
Sounds like he's trying to disconnect too. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Grieving.
Yeah.
That disconnect, right? Grieving.
Well, this is what I told him. That's why I told my wife. I said, don't take any of that shit until She's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, all right.
Give him time to level out.
Yeah. So he comes down the other night and he goes, oh, because he hadn't written a check ever. Like he didn't, you know what I mean? Like his mother took care of it when he was living with his mother, and he got married and she did it all. So I said, oh, he goes, no, I'm not asking you. I'm asking Gina. So and he goes, yeah, that stuff there. He says, I'll take it. I'll just get rid of it. She says, when you say get rid of it, what are you going to mean? And he goes, oh, fuck, there's a dumpster right there. She says, no. She says, you mind if I do it? She said, I'd rather just take it, down the street to the Katie's Closet. It's like a donation center, for clothing and shit. And he's like, oh, okay. He says, yeah, you can do that. So she took it all down the fucking it's almost like a not American Red Cross. What's the other one? Salvation
Army.
Yeah, it's almost like, but it goes directly to like most of it goes to like battered women's shelters
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and the regular shelters, for the homeless women, but it's mainly women's clothes because it's called Katie's Closet. But I mean, there's still men's clothes in there, but it's mainly women's clothes. But they take them to the shelters and shit like that.
You guys know those little rubber, basically just a condom. It goes over your finger to help you with like turning paper and stuff, pages.
Yeah.
So you buy a box of those, and it lasts how long? What,
forever.
like a lifetime? Yeah, a lifetime maybe.
Was it 10 boxes?
Well, it depends what you're using them for.
Dude, I wish there was 10. I wish there was 10. There was like I took like.
Were they preppers?
I took 15 to like work with me and just put them like at everybody's desk and stuff.
Yeah, have one. No, it's amazing though, ain't it? So Ohio.
I'm like, why would you need so many of that?
I'll tell you exactly why. When you need one and you got it and you can't find it, so you just buy another box.
So what the crazy part is with my stepmom? So she died Tuesday morning. Monday afternoon, I was going to see my father because I had to go to the insurance company, and I said I'll just scoot down and see my father and my stepmother, but I never did that because she died, my neighbor. Tuesday morning, my stepmother dies. Monday, my brother was there, and she said, "Oh," because he's like the what they call it, in charge of all her shit,
Executor.
Yeah. So my father wanted nothing to do with it. So she's got all her shit, and she says, "Rich, I wanted to go through some stuff and da da da." I mean, like she wasn't like terminally ill or anything. She was just, I mean, she had some issues from her gallbladder operations and stuff, but she wasn't, by any stretch, terminal. So he's, I don't want to talk about that right now. He says, I want to talk about you making my drapes. When are you going to make curtains? She was supposed to make him some curtains. She goes, oh, okay. She had all her stuff that she needed if she died all together, left it on the bureau because she wanted to talk to my brother about it. And then she died that morning, the next morning. I'm like, well, at least you don't have to go through all the shit looking for everything. Well, then the shit hit the fan. So my father says, Mikey, he says, go in the bedroom. He says, on the right side of the bureau, there's this box. He says, I'm looking for a paper that I'm like, okay. I said, how about I just bring the paper? He says, no, just give me the paper that's in the box. I open the box. I go, Dad, you might want to come in here. Do you have the paper? I says, yes, but you might want to come in here. He was in. I open the box. And he goes, oh, what the fuck? It's fucking cash everywhere. So then, he had to go hunting for it, and he found it. He found it all. But I'm like, she wasn't even Italian.
We found about $8,000 in my grandma's mattress.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I was like 15, 16, when my great grandmother died, and we were cleaning her house out. And my brother and I, he's younger than me. He's like 3 years younger than me. Anyways, we're moving this bookshelf. And of course, we're kids. We're stupid. We're not taking the books off first. You know, we're just going to fucking tilt it and fucking carry it. You know what I mean? And, I mean, it wasn't that very big, and there wasn't a lot of books on it. And there's a $50 bill. I'm like, so I yelled into my dad, and him and my uncle standing. He goes, what's the matter? I go, well, we're moving the bookshelf. And I said, the money fell out of a book. He goes, you're kidding me. I goes, nope. They found close to 18, 19 grand in that house.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Well, she's a little Italian.
Socking it away.
Little Italian immigrant.
Different places, too.
Little Italian immigrant.
You also find that with the depression babies.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah,
she's a
because
little
they didn't trust the banks. Yeah.
She was born in like 1897 or something, right? In Italy. Came here legally. Came here legally.
Yeah, right.
And her and my grandmother. And they didn't trust the parents. The depression hit and all that. And she went out and bought what she wanted for a couple of days or something, but that's about it. You know what I mean? But she was something. She was like 4 foot nothing, but she had her hair was longer than her body, so she kept a bun, and the bun was the size of my head, for Christ's sakes. but she scared me. And she's always like, "You want to stay with Grandma?" I'm like, "Fuck no." You know, I'm like, "Nope, I'm good." And you know, as I got older, I regretted it, but you know, we'd go over and this is Italian soup. Well, it's called Manasta. It's greens and eggs. You know what I mean? You can put what you want, spin it, whatever. Anyways, it tastes like ass. So, but when he says we're going to Grandma's, I'm thinking, here we go. Meatballs, sausages, wraps, fucking homemade raviolis, homemade fucking linguine, whatever, you know, because she made her own. And yeah, no, we got Manasta. And I'm like,
oh
Mikey,
man,
Mikey, what's the matter, Mikey? You know like a Manasta. I go, yeah, no. And I'm like, Dad, pass me some more bread. And he's like, Mikey, you gotta eat it. I said, Dad, I can't. He says, you better, because she's gonna kill you.
And my wife's family, they fixed this soup called you Yushang, or I don't know, what something, but it's like a barley, like you use a ham bone and like barley, and like it's, oh my God, it's fucking nasty. And they all eat it like it's the best thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God.
That is so weird.
No, what the fuck is that shit called? I don't know, but it stinks the whole fucking house up too, man. It's nasty.
Ohio, worst argument. My mom's father I grew up in the house with him, right? He lived with us. Worst argument I ever got with him. My mom cooks pea soup, right?
Yum.
And I can't eat pea soup I don't know if it's texture. I don't know what it is. No, I love peas, frozen canned. Don't bother me. I'll eat them all. I just can't eat pea soup because it legit makes me vomit right away.
Well, it kind of looks
And
like it.
so,
Little chunks of ham in it.
I come home from work, and my mother went, "Oh, Mikey, I thought you were working I thought you were working late." I said, "Oh, it's not." She says, "I made pea soup." She says, "Listen," she says, "There's lunch meats in the fridge." She says, "I'll make you." I said, "No, you won't." I said, "Sit down and eat your dinner." I said, "I'll go make my own sandwich." I opened the refrigerator door, and my grandfather let out a bellow. "You will sit down and eat what she prepared. She worked da 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 da." I said, "Papa, usually I would, and you know I would." I said, "But I can't. It makes me vomit." I says, "Nothing she's doing wrong. She knows that I can't eat it because she gave it to me when I was younger, and that's what just happens."
Right.
I says, "It's not like, I don't feel like eating that. Can I have something else? It's just I can't." "I don't give a rat's ass. Puke all over the goddamn place. You're gonna eat." Oh my God, he went off on me like there's nobody's fucking
Oh,
business.
Jesus.
So at the same time, I'm making a sandwich.
Like you're listening.
"God damn it, you disrespectful son of a bitch. I'm talking to you and you're making a sandwich. You pay attention." Of course, she's yelling at him. "Dad, leave him alone, blah, 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 blah." So I said, "All right." I said, "Here, I'll do this because I don't want to ruin everybody's dinner." And I looked right at her. I said, "I'll be back." And she said, "Okay." So I drove to McDonald's and ate at McDonald's. And fucking showed back up at the house. And I walked right to his bedroom. And I'm like, "Are we good? I'm sorry." I says, he says, "Well, your mother talked me out of it. I don't understand why it makes you sick." I says, "Have you ever put something in your mouth that as soon as you did it,
Yep.
it wasn't
Like,
even
no.
it wasn't even down your throat, and you're
Yeah.
already gagging and you're already wanting to throw it up." He says, "Well, yeah, some things." I says, "Okay, this is one of those things for me." I said, "I'm sorry that I said, I'm sorry that you thought I was being disrespectful to her and you." I said, "I wasn't being disrespectful to either one of you, and I didn't mean to if I was." He goes, "Okay, listen." He says, "I made you a sandwich. Now I'm full because I got the Big Mac in me. I got the fucking fries in me. I'm still sucking on my fucking milkshake." He goes, "I made you a sandwich. Let me tell you something. It took me it felt like an eternity to eat this fucking sandwich, but there was no way in fucking hell I wasn't eating that fucking sandwich."
Right.
Yeah, right. Compromise, baby.
My mother comes out and she goes, "How you doing?" And I'm like, "Mom, I don't care what happens. I'm eating the sandwich." She goes, "Good idea."
At least you didn't go to bed hungry that night.
Oh no.
One of the rules.
That's one thing. My mom would never, she wouldn't allow it, Ohio. There was no, "All right, go to bed." My mom would never allow us, or my dad would never allow us to go to bed hungry.
Right.
Just something that didn't, they didn't, I mean, I had, what do you call it? Like the canned beans, the Campbell's canned beans there.
Pork and
up there,
beans.
the big thing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, pork and beans. But as a kid, she'd only give me a teaspoon. She loaded it up with everything she could, and it still tastes like ass. But I'd get it down, you know what I mean, without Ralphing. But I can't. The pea soup.
Raising our kids, we allowed our daughters one thing each that they didn't have to eat. And the one was green beans for Katie.
French cut or French style or regular?
Both either.
Oh,
either. She'd put a bean in her mouth and gagged like you would.
Really?
Like it was, green beans.
Yeah.
And what was it for April? Broccoli, I think, for April.
Oh yeah, I can't stand it.
They got to pick one thing that they didn't have to eat.
See, now in the broccoli, I'm an old ass man. Until this day, cooked broccoli, I'll only eat the stem.
Oh, it's got to be a texture thing with you.
I wouldn't eat the flour. So here's the funny part.
Oh, that's
Right.
the best part when you cook it.
Here's the funny part. My brother-in-law would only eat the flour.
Nah. Well, there you go. Perfect dinner partner.
So guess who I sat beside? Guess who I sat beside at fucking Christmas and every other fucking month,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, I'll
But,
trade you.
But here's the weird part. Cold, I'll eat it all. Cauliflower's the same way. I'll only eat the stem of a cauliflower if it's cooked. But
Cold or
right down the
cold-
hatch. Right down
cold
the
or
hatch.
raw? Cold or raw?
Raw. I'm sorry. Raw.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
No,
Dude, I
man.
love some raw
You give me a
cauliflower with some like ranch dip.
oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Right on, Ohio. That's what I mean.
And here we go, Shalisa, food chat.
Food chat.
Shalisa's fault because she just lit a cigarette, and I'm like, oh, she's lighting a butt.
You give me a plate of broccoli and put a little lemon juice on it, man, I'm all over it. I love.
I never
cooked
heard of lemon
broccoli.
juice with broccoli.
That sounds good.
Oh
I've
man,
heard cheese sauce.
yeah,
Not the cheese whiz out of the fucking, not that.
No,
shit.
but cheese
No,
sauce.
real
Regular
cheese sauce.
Yeah.
or grated cheese is good on it.
Oh, is
But
it?
yeah,
No,
look,
I never
I
tried that.
squeeze lemon on mine.
I put
up.
broccoli in everything.
I'll have to
Really?
try it. You know what else I can't stand is cooked spinach.
That I like. I like
I
cooked
didn't
spinach.
like cooked spinach as a kid, but I like it now. But
Nope.
I
don't even
started
like it now.
going back to
I
broccoli.
started eating canned, yucky canned spinach because of Popeye
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
Oh, okay. Hi, Vanessa.
That's as
Yeah.
bad as
Vanessa,
canned
how are you, honey?
beans.
Hey,
How's it
Vanessa.
been? I hope things are well, sweetheart. It's great to see you. Please be careful down in Connecticut. Ohio, what were you going to say about
Oh, I was
broccoli?
going to say that there used to be a roast beef fast food joint around Ohio. I don't know if they were everywhere, but called Racks.
Oh, I remember
And,
Racks.
They had they would do baked potatoes, and they you get your butter and your sour cream and chive, but they did a baked potato that was full of that cheese sauce and chopped up broccoli, and that thing
Yum.
was delicious.
Snowing while the striped bass are just not coming up the river. Oh, nice.
But
Catch a striper for me.
Right on.
Yeah, no, and the funny part is, till this day, I still can't. Now, my wife, she'll do. It's weird because with the spinach, as long as I can't taste it, like you know how that spinach has that pungent fucking taste, I'm good. So my wife will. There's a couple of dishes that she makes, and there's spinach in it. I go, hey, what's in this? She won't tell me. So I know that there's something I don't like that's in there. But if I don't taste it, I'm good.
yeah, if you don't know what it is, you're okay.
Spinach pie is really good. It's got a lot of Parmesan cheese in it and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They do it like a pasty.
Yep.
Very
I like-
good.
I like anything with fresh spinach, even if you cook it, but as long as it was fresh.
Right.
Especially on a pizza. Like if you get a spinach,
All right, let's stop.
like a
there.
mozzarella spinach chicken.
Stop.
That's not a pizza.
Let the Italian tell you what goes on a fucking pizza.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
talking about fucking
No
spinach on a
pineapple.
pizza.
Let an Italian tell you what goes on a pizza.
I'm not
ready?
talking about pizza. I'm talking about spinach. So
Yeah, but you said spinach on a pizza.
right. I'm just saying I will eat it on a pizza. I will eat spinach. I'll eat any type of fresh spinach, but out of the can, I'm not a big fan of.
All right, so now you know what's funny. I prefer, not that I prefer, but yeah, I kind of do, I guess, because I grew up on them, right? So I prefer fucking canned veggies over fucking the frozen bags.
I
like
do too.
I don't know why.
frozen. I like frozen over everything because of you have better nutrients and stuff still in them, except for peas. Fucking canned peas, man. I love fucking
I
canned
love
peas.
peas. I do. I love
I
peas.
take canned peas over fresh peas any day.
I do
Love
like-
canned peas.
I do like the green beans that you get in the produce department that are, they come in a little fucking, you know what I mean? Not
Little
the frozen ones. Yeah. Those
the
are
fresh.
like,
Yeah,
the
fresh
fresh
ones
ones.
where you break them yourself. Yeah.
yeah. Those I like.
Steamed? Oh, nothing
Steam
better.
them, make them
But-
crispy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, with a fucking half a stick of butter on them.
Yep. Nothing better. Goes great
I'm
with a
terrible.
big hamburger.
I am terrible when it comes to that stuff. Like I put butter on every one of my like veggies and shit.
You would have the most healthy diet if it wasn't for fucking butter, right? That's
I'm
the way I
telling you.
am.
Butter's
Like,
not
I do
bad
eat my
for
vegetables, but like you said, there's a
See,
cup
now,
of butter on every vegetable.
I got a
Butter
friend of
or-
mine.
Mike,
Go ahead.
butter or margarine?
I don't know what
Oh,
it
but
says.
you gotta go butter.
I think it's butter. Yeah,
Okay,
Comes
you
in a
got to
stick.
go butter. You can't go margarine.
comes in a
Margarine's like
stick, right?
kill you. Yeah, but so does margarine. They
No,
trick
not
you.
that soft shit in a fucking tub. No, that shit's gross.
Butter, real butter.
But
But I got a friend of
I think
mine.
we always my wife always gets the unsalted butter. So unsalted butter, I think, is better for cooking. I think she uses it for. But then
Yep, baking.
salted, if you have real salted butter, that you don't have to refrigerate one of them, and I forget which one it is. But you just
Salted butter.
I don't know.
if it's salted, I think you can just leave out on the counter and shit.
Yep.
I got a buddy of mine that when you were talking about the green beans, Stevie, I got a buddy of mine that, like me, well, I'll eat them all. I'll eat all canned green beans, but I prefer the French style cut ones.
The shredded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a buddy of mine that only eats French style green beans. He won't eat a fucking regular cut green bean.
Oh, really?
And me, okay, here's how foolish I am. Sometimes I get these urges, right?
Uh-oh.
I'll go in the cupboard and I'll grab a fucking can of fucking beans.
Oh, I thought it was something you did in
No, no.
public or something.
I'll open the can, I'll drain it, and I'll just fucking load that fucking thing with garlic or whatever. right out of the fucking can.
yep.
Right. And so my daughter, camera girl, catches me. And she goes, "What is wrong with you?" She goes, "You eat raviolis out of a can and now you're eating veggies out of a can." I says, "Honey," I just get these, just what are you, pregnant? I goes, "I don't
You know,
I
that
says,
can happen now.
I says, I don't know. I just fucking. Good night, sweetheart.
Good night.
It was great
Good
to see
night,
you all.
Lisa.
Okay.
Wonderful to see you.
You
I
too.
can guarantee it ain't gonna be 2 months till I have another one. Vanessa said green beans straight out of the garden raw, munching them. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Vanessa, that's how I like my tomatoes too.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
Wipe
wish
off the
I did.
tomato. Wipe
Hey,
off a tomato. Get a shake. Get a black paper. Put the paper shaker out with you, and the salt, and just like an apple.
Well, you got to lick it first, and then that way
You know?
the salt sticks. I
Right?
wish I liked tomatoes. They look so good to me. And I went out in the summertime and picked one out of the garden and
Yep.
wiped it off and licked it and put the salt on it and took a big old bite and spit it right back out on the ground. It
Hey.
bugs me that I don't like tomatoes.
Well, you know what I don't like? You know what? I'll be honest with you. I like the tomatoes that you grow in your garden, the big ones, right? The regular tomatoes. I
Big
don't
old
like
beef
those.
steaks.
Yeah, I don't like those little fucking
Cherry.
tomatoes,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. I don't like those. I don't know why. But I
They
like the big ones.
taste different.
I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
I don't like
They're-
either.
Yeah, they're like a cherry tomato is like what you put on salads and stuff, and it's got a tartness to it, right, Mikey?
Yeah, I'd say
And they
that.
got
That's
there's like a tartness, and I don't like it.
They're kind
I'd
of
rather put a
sweet,
big. I'd
too.
rather take a big like beefsteak tomato or whatever,
Yeah,
and
What's
just
that
have
dish?
slice it.
I said they're kind of
That's my-
sweet.
Yeah,
little
they are.
cherry tomatoes.
My dad always grew beefsteak tomatoes, at least a couple of plants, and man, he'd slice them, put them on bread and butter and salt and pepper, and
Yep.
just have a tomato sandwich.
Hey, do you guys know what the difference is between knowledge and wisdom?
I know this, but I can't remember it.
Knowledge is knowing that the tomato is actually a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in your fruit salad.
Right.
Right?
Applied knowledge.
No, I forget the reason because it has seeds, right?
Something like that. Yeah, seeds.
It's
Like cucumbers are actually a fruit too, apparently, I think, or something like that.
yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah.
That reminds me of something. My fucking kid brother, my youngest brother. So I had just walked in, and they had just gotten done with lunch. So my father's like, "Hey, there's a shit ton of cold cuts on the table." He says, "Just," I said, "All right, I'll in a minute." So my sister, who's she's I don't think she's woke, but she's far left, and so she goes, and this is not this is out of her character too. And she goes, "But there's no pickles," and she starts laughing. So I go, "Okay, what's going on?" And my kid brother says, "Nothing." I says, "Denise, tell me what's going on." I says, "He obviously isn't, so it involves him." I said, "So tell me what's going on." She goes, "Making sandwiches." I says, "Yeah." And I says to she says to my brother, she says, "All we have is bread. What do you call them? Bread and butter pickles."
Bread and butter pickles, yeah.
She goes, "Do you like the bread and butter pickles, or you like Michael, who only eats dill or sour pickles?" So he says, "Oh hell, I don't care." He says, "They're in a pickle. They're in a pickle I don't like." And I guess she looked at him with a fucking stare on her face and smiled. And he wouldn't say anything because he knew my other brother was standing behind him, pissing himself laughing. So so now she's telling me, and I look right at him and I go, "There isn't a pickle you don't like." I said, "Okay, cocksucker." I don't think I have stopped calling him pickles since that day. And he goes, "Stop calling me." I says, "Yeah, well, you know what? I wish I could." I says, "But because you call me Fredo, our other two brothers calls me Fredo, which now turned into every one of my brother's drivers who comes to my place to deliver shit that I order calls me Fredo. And now I got guys at XPO that driving to pick shit up that come back and say, 'Hey, Fredo, what's going on?' And I go, 'So go fuck yourself.' I says, and that all stemmed from you, Pickles." My father's like,
Start calling them that on Facebook so it gets around.
My father's like, "What is wrong with you calling him Pickles?" I said, "I thought, Dad, he's a cocksucker." Stop. He says, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "I just speak my mind." He goes, "Here's my father. Love him to death, but Jesus Christ. It's like he can do something, but you can't." I go, "Dad, you know that makes you a hypocrite, right?" He goes, "No." I said, "It just makes me dad." I goes, "Yeah, okay." So one night, I'm laying in bed, and I think I'm having the fucking heart attack of a lifetime. And Gina wakes up, and she's like, "What's the matter?" And I goes, "I don't know." And she goes, "Look at me." So I looked at her. She goes, "Oh, okay, hang on." So she gets up, she turns the light on. And she goes, "Look at me again." And I look at her. And she goes, "You okay?" And I go, "No, not really." She says, "What's the matter?" I said, "Fucking pain is killing me." So I must have laid there, I don't know, a good half hour or so. And she says, "Michael," she said, "if you're like this in 10 minutes, she says, if you're not already passed out or dead," she says, "I'm going to call an ambulance." I says, "All right." So I don't know, 10 minutes goes by or whatever. And she goes, "How you feeling?" I says, "A little better." I said, "Okay, you sure?" I says, "Yeah." And I'm not. I'm fucking in agony. She goes, "Where you headed?" I said, "I'm going to go out and have a smoke."
Oh no.
She says, "Oh, you must be fine now." She goes back to sleep. I go back to bed, and I'm like this. Oh. So she says, "What's the matter?" His eye rolled over on my arm. So she's like, "All right." So I never go into the hospital. I went to the doctor, call the doctor, nothing. So we're all together, and the subject comes up about heart attacks or something stupid, and so she felt the need to tell the group that I would, what had happened. So my father gives me one of these. He hits me in the shoulders. What's the matter with you? I goes, nothing. Why? Why are you hitting me? He goes, why don't you go to the doctor? You can't fuck around with shit like that. And we all look at him, we're going, this from the guy who sat in the fucking chair having a heart attack for 4 fucking hours and then decided to go to the fucking hospital. Is going to tell me that I should have went to the fucking hospital. I said, what do you mind? But it's just how he is. He's just, he can do shit you can't.
That's because he's dead.
Yeah. And so I said to him, he goes, so, about the pickles thing, he goes, and I go, he said, you gotta, I said, what, have a filter? He says, yeah, because yours works. He goes, well, I go, yeah. I said, raise your hand if you don't have a filter in this house. And he doesn't, though. He doesn't have a filter. I mean, he's not belligerent and mean to people. He just, he just doesn't have a filter. Like he'll say, so they have like a pop streak because the grandkids call him Pop. So they'll have a pop streak up north. He takes all the grandchildren for the week and, whatever. So one night they go over the next town over. They call it the Bay. They go over the Bay to have get something, whatever. And he's got the older ones now. And the older ones, by the way, are like 15. So it's not like they're, And he goes, hey, you guys want to drive by and see where your parents were conceived? And I'm fucking.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what is wrong with you? They laughed. I said, no, they didn't. They only laughed because it was you, and they were probably freaking. Oh, yeah. No, zero filter. Zero filter. And I keep telling him.
What? He's Italian. What do you want?
He's the one that told me. He says, you can't call somebody a guinea unless you're Italian. I said, oh, good. I says, I can call you a guinea. He says, you like to breathe? I said, I like to breathe. Don't call me a guinea. He said, yeah, but it's like the black people calling each other the N-word. Same thing. It's all out of love. He goes, you're an asshole. I go, what? No, he's getting better. It's been rough for him, but he's I said we're leaving one night. We're all over the house, and we had to meet with the funeral parlor, and so the only one who couldn't make it was my sister that lived in Florida. So, anyways, we're all in there, and I said to my wife, I said, we gotta get out of here. And she says, Michael, it's like 7:15. I goes, babe, he's napping by fucking 8. I says, he's had a long day. I says, his legs probably fucking killing him. He probably wants to go to bed. I says, and besides that, you know what's coming out of his mouth in the next fucking 10 minutes? I love you. Just get the fuck out of my house. I says, I'm telling you, it's coming. Sure as shit, we're saying goodbye. He says, you should all take Mike and Gina's lead and get the fuck out of my house. It's getting late. I'm throwing you out in 15 minutes. I mean, he says it in a funny way, but he means it. You know what I mean? Like, but so I see him this morning, and I text him a couple of times this week. I see him this morning, and he said, I want to thank you for it, by the way. I says, for what? He says, your fucking brothers and sisters and your fucking grandchildren won't leave me the fuck alone. He says, and you're the only one. Yeah, you text me, you call me. He said, I'm seeing you today. He says, but they're up my ass. I said, Dad, they love you. He says, well, how come you're not up my ass? You don't love me? I said, I do, but I know you need your space. I said, so I'm not going to crowd you. let them crowd you. I said, I'm not going to tell them not to, because that's just going to cause issues. I said, so, and they think what they're doing is the right thing to do. So who am I to fucking tell them not to do that? You know? And he just looked at me. He says, well, I probably shouldn't have said what I said then. I go, what did you say? He goes, why can't you just be like your brother Mike? Text me a couple of times, call me once, and then I'm going to see you. And I'm like, no, you didn't. He says, oh, yeah, I did. I said, so you threw me right on the fucking butt.
Boy.
He goes, oops.
Oops.
He
Yep.
he threw you in front of the bus, ran you over, and then backed up with that bus.
Yeah, like the girl up here being tried again too. She got thrown on the bus again too.
Oh man, is that the Karen Reed?
Karen Reed,
Dude.
it's
Now
as dirty as that fucking trial.
I did not know. I watched the thing, her special that they had on like Netflix or Hulu or whatever.
Yeah.
I watched that and I was like, holy shit. And it was like a hung jury or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that was crazy. I didn't know that they retried her until like about 2 days ago.
It's
It
still
popped
going
up
on.
It popped up on my YouTube.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, they're retrying this woman, man.
Yep. They're retrying her, and
What'd she do?
it's either so.
I don't think she did shit.
Nobody did. Well, I shouldn't say nobody because half the jury did, right? So, she was arrested for second-degree manslaughter. Her husband, her boyfriend, excuse me, not her husband, her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was found dead in a snowbank, and they think she ran him over because the tail light was broke, but it had his DNA on it. Okay, he could have punched it because he was mad at her. How does and it's not, correct me if I'm wrong, Ohio. I said tail, it wasn't the tail light that's low. It's the tail, it's the
I don't remember. I just
the
remember
one on the hatch.
I just remember seeing the video of the cop. The cop took
yeah, it stinks.
They took the SUV to the Sally Port, and
Yep.
the cop goes over and breaks off a piece of the the brake light lens.
Yep.
And walks away, and then magically they found that next to the body.
Right.
The next time they searched the area, so it was
this fingerprint. This fingerprint. So because it was January. He died in January 22, and so there was a snowstorm that night. It was it's middle of fucking January in New England. So he was so cold. His body temp was so cold they couldn't pinpoint a time of death. Okay, so that's not helping her out either. But it stinks of corruptness and cover up, and it's rotten.
Okay, let me tell Mike. Let me tell Steve the up story to that part though. Her story is that they were all out drinking and stuff at some bars, right? This whole group of people, and the bars were getting ready to close or something, and they were closing early. I think this was during like COVID or some shit, or it was where the bars weren't up until 2. They were closing at like midnight or something. So they decided that they were all going to go to this other guy's house. Now these are all like cops and stuff like that. These are all like
these aren't just
attorney generals and cops and detectives and shit. They're all a friends group,
and they all grew up together. Well, except for the girlfriend, but they all grew up together. So everybody, you know what I mean?
So they go. They're going to go to these people's house. So when her and her boyfriend, who is a cop, when they get there, he goes, "Let me go see if there's anyone here." Because there was like this distrust issue for some reason or whatever, because the lights were all out or something. So he goes up to the house. Well, he's in there for a long time, and her story is that she got sick of waiting, so she backed up and left. because she was there for like 20 minutes or something like that, and he never came back out to say come on in or whatever. He left her hanging, so she left, and then she got a phone call saying that they found him in the snowbank next to the driveway or whatever on the side of the road at like 4 or 5 in the morning. She went back out there
With the
cops
girl,
and everybody were all there.
Yep.
And then they said that you hit him. She's like, I hit him? And they're like, you hit him? And she's like, I hit him? You're saying I hit him? And that's their story.
And the other part of their story is that one of the girls in the car who lied already on the stand, the first trial, Googled how long does it take to
how long does it take
a
to
body
die
to
in the cold?
Die in the cold.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So those two are trying to be.
Oh
now
yeah,
they're all friends.
And the body had dog bites on it, and there was there was like a police German Shepherd type dog at the house.
And here's the best part. This is the part I love. You ready? This is the part I love. There's 5 sets of fingerprints on his boots, plural. Sorry. Okay. That can't be identified.
Well, that's odd.
They're not hers because she's been fingerprinted. Okay. They're not hers. Unless you have a bunch of friends that took your shoes and was playing with you. How are 5 prints going to be on your fucking boots? Not yours, not your girlfriend's. How does that happen? You know, I'm going to tell you how that happens.
Somebody grabbing you by the boots and dragging you down the driveway.
Fucking unbelievable. Okay. This sucks of cover up like there's nobody's business. They have her on. She had to sell her house, for the lawyer's fees. She's she's not in jail. She's under house arrest.
Yeah.
She got the ankle bracelet and all that bullshit on. I never knew that you can be retried on a hung jury, but obviously you can because she.
I thought that was it.
The only thing that I would, and then so she shows up at the hospital. The mother of the guy that died, obviously upset, right? So, but there had to be some bad blood. I guess she was screaming at the scene, like in a lunacy type of way. So, Ohio, what do they call it? It was a code because I was watching Charlie the other night with my daughter. They called it a code 12, 812, whatever, which means she's losing it. She has to go get psych evaluated.
Oh yeah, like a psych
5150.
No, it was a code. It was some kind of code.
5150.
They used the code 12 or something.
Every area has different codes. 51.
So, anyways,
like California and all that.
So, anyways, they so now she's at the hospital. They bring him to the hospital. The mother comes in, and the mother says, "What is she doing here?" Like, what do you mean? What's she doing here? First of all, why would you even ask that question? Because her boyfriend died. Why wouldn't she be there? Number 2, she had to be evaled anyways. But you know what I mean? So you knew the mother didn't like the girl.
Right.
Right.
So now the girl, Karen Reed, shows back up at the house. They go upstairs for 10 minutes. Here's their conspiracy theory, right? They go upstairs for 10 minutes because they're hiding shit. They didn't hide nothing. Now that she takes her car. So now the ADA is asking why she's taking the car. Well, first of all, the police department didn't tow it for evidence. So she took the car. Now they're trying to say that she took the car to fucking hide evidence. Well, no, she owned the vehicle.
Yeah.
If they wanted the vehicle, they should have fucking impounded it for evidence.
Right.
They didn't. Obviously, they didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't take the fucking vehicle for evidence. So she took the fucking car. And I'm like, what the this is just, it just sucks of fucking, it smells of fucking stupidity.
So they're trying to convict her to get them all out of trouble for them screwing everything up.
I think he went to this house party with these people because there was some bad blood between a few of them
And got shattered.
Because they were both fucking the same girl or something. Okay. Yeah. And I think they went to that guy's house and they beat the fuck out of him and threw him out on the side of the road to die.
Drug him out there.
Yeah, drug him out there, threw him in the fucking, throwing him fucking the ditch. Because the snowplow driver that went by, he went by that neighborhood 3 times. He's the one that found the body originally.
Right.
But he said he went by it 3 times at like 1 o'clock, and then around 3 o'clock, and then around 4:30, and it was like 4:30 when he found it. So that body wasn't out there when they claim it was supposed to be out there.
And she was in bed. She was in bed. She said, right, sleeping.
Yeah, they woke her up to come out there. Yeah.
So it just stinks, and the problem is that first of all, there's off-duty cops involved. Right.
Yeah, all of them are. Yeah.
So I'm not trying to be a douchebag, but
did they
either off-duty cops or some type of like prosecuting attorney or something like that. They were all
yeah.
So the toxicology came up with nothing.
Oh no, they were all hammered.
Well, it sounds like he went in that house and did a big line of coke and keeled over or something.
Well, it just stinks, and I feel so bad. Now
don't forget he had the markings consistent with a large dog bite.
Right. So it's like, not for nothing. I get this, and see, so there's text back and forth with him and her that night, and they're in they're fighting. They're in a fight. And they're fighting, and so they're trying to use that as motive for maybe not motive, but to prove that she was.
Yeah, the fight. They were texting back and forth because he was in the house and she was waiting for him in the driveway for him to come on in or whatever. And that's what she was fighting to him about.
But they have but they went
taking so fucking long and blah blah blah. And then she was finally like, "Fuck off! I'm out of here. I'm gone," or whatever.
But they also have texts that prior to that, like from 9 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they've been fighting all night, so they probably shouldn't have went out to that people's house at all.
Exactly, and then as we all know, you're in a bad mood. And then now you're adding alcohol.
Well, the reason they were fighting because the fight was about her and that other cop that she was sleeping with too.
Right. And so it's not. And so now the two girls that went to help her find him, right? Did it go out to find him, or did those 2 girls bring him to the body? However it went.
I'm not sure
because they're all friends, right?
But the snowplow was the snowplow driver was the guy who found the body.
And so now you can watch the whole thing on Court TV. It's a fucking riot. It's also on YouTube. But
so was that house they went to the dude she was fucking?
No, that was just a house party.
The house party, but he was there though. But
he was at the party though.
But the guy that he was fucking was at the party.
It's fucked up, and I feel for her. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, her lawyers knew that she can be retried again, but probably didn't think that she was gonna, because she did the whatever it was, Netflix 60 Minutes, whatever the fuck.
She did it all, but I'll tell you, that's what I was going to say.
So now what
makes her looks bad is how bad she wants to be in the fucking public eye.
Right. And so the defense lawyer
all about flaunting it and shit when she's going in front of the cameras and stuff.
the district attorney, not the defense lawyer, the district attorney is using her being on that as shit. It's just a mess. There aren't really a lot of people around here that think she did it.
What's the girl's name?
Karen Reed.
Karen
Oh,
Reed.
okay. I thought you said Tara Reid.
No.
Oh no, the
It's-
actress.
Wow.
No.
It kind of reminds me of the actor there that got accused for all this shit, and none of it ever happened. He played the pirate. What the fuck?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. You know, with that
Yeah.
fucking idiot that it was. It's just, I'm telling you, it's the exact same thing without the fucking, except this one has a death involved.
Gotcha.
And it's just real bad. Except this one also obviously has fucking conspiracy and corruption added to
Oh
it.
shit, my phone's about to die.
But holy shit, it's 1:00. But yeah, go on either YouTube or Court TV. It's all over it.
That's why Dish acts so innocent and angelic, so she won't get involved with some bullshit like this. She learned her lesson.
right. All right, you guys, listen. I'm out of here. It was good seeing you all.
Yep, you guys too.
Yeah, we should do this, at least once every other year or something. It'd be kind of fun.
My mom says hi, guys.
Hi,
Tell her-
Mom.
Tell her I said hello, please.
I will.
All right, you
Did
guys.
you-
It's good to see you.
You too, Mikey.
Peace.
Peace, everybody.
Night, guys.
Oh, he wasn't kidding.
Nope.
See ya.
Nope. There goes Ohio. His phone died.
How cute. We're still live. Isn't that awesome?
He didn't turn it off.
Welcome to the Dish and Steve chat.
There you
Notice-
go.
Notice I put your name first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. The one who's going to get nude later gets top billing.
Oh, okay. Is that how that works?
Yeah. You want to do a solo thing?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Love you.
Love you too. Night.
Bye.
Bye bye.